So at this point, we're just waiting for the, okay, so 2 other people are here. I'll give him this participant role. We're just waiting for the last few people to check in, and then we're going to end up getting started pretty soon. Let me see, I think I have... Oh, it's been a while since I've opened this. I think I've got background music, so it's not just, like, silence. What do I have? What do I have? I've got the whole Melty Blood OST somewhere. Is it going to be in my random crap, or do I have a folder for it? Oh, I do have a folder for it. Yeah, look at that. I have no clue if that overpowers my voice or what, but OBS Classic's audio lines are kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not very consistent. It'll tell you you're even or you're slightly louder, and you just aren't. But whatever. It's just like filler for the start, so who cares? Let's see, check-in ends in 1 minute, and we still don't have Mateo. So I'll give him like a 5-minute grace period. But we might lose Mateo. Oh man, I just noticed. How do emotes go from this? So Aka made a, I'm gonna check the emotes on the whatever the fuck chat. So Aka made a really good scrolling chat, but it doesn't work in OBS Classic. It works in OBS Studio. Thing is, I have to use OBS Classic for recording Melty because Studio slows shit down a lot. Music is too loud. It won't be around forever, so it's pretty like meh. But, yeah, so you see how the scrolling chat doesn't do emotes and it's kind of stuttery. So, yeah, so Aka made a really, really good scrolling chat, but it only works in OBS Studio. And this is, like, the alternative I had for Classic. And Aka's is better because it's easier to use. It's more, like, it's way smoother. You can, edit more things on it, and it actually does emotes. But I have to use, Classic for Melty Blood because of the way Classic tries to, or Studio tries to capture games. It doesn't like me launching and like game capturing from fucking like caster window or whatever. And if I try to do window capture, for some reason it just makes the frame rate on the game drop like 5 to 10 frames. It's ridiculous. Like it says it's 60 frames, but it isn't. The game is obvious, like quite obviously not running at 60 frames. When you see it when it is streaming and recording through window capture. So I have to use OBS Classic for Melty. Which is like, whatever, not a huge deal, but it is a shame that I have to use the inferior scrolling chat. So yeah, 3 minutes and we'll get going. We're just waiting for Mateo right now to see if he ends up checking in. And then if he doesn't, we'll probably just run the bracket how it is, honestly. Because I mean, if Mateo isn't here, it means Nania is probably going to go against Koval. I might be able to swap things around. I don't know. I mean, there's only going to be 6 people if Mateo doesn't show up, and that seems like a whatever. He left Fuckfest as well. All right, so maybe he just ain't. Maybe he just isn't gonna show up. That's whatever. Maybe he's a busy guy. Oh right, I need to shield the stream in wherever the fuck. I'll put it in here and then tournaments. East Coast ping? No. Don't want any East Coast ping. Awesome, cool. And Discord doesn't make the gigantic Twitch window that it used to. So I don't feel like I'm taking up a large amount of space by putting the fucking tournament up. Alright, so I need to make sure everyone has the participant roles. So we have 5 people with participant roles. So who's in this? Who's in this? Mateo's got 1 more minute, so let me just go over again. Nania has his Koval. Wait, does Nana have his matchmaking callouts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, everyone's got their participant role. And in about 30 seconds, if Mateo doesn't show up, he's out. But from what people are saying, it's highly likely he's not going to show up. And then let's see if I can do window capture and if it'll actually window capture anything. Maybe it'll crash OBS. It'll probably crash OBS. There it is. You just have to fucking smack it a million times. Here's the current bracket. But if we don't have Mateo, Nana's probably gonna slip in there, and it's gonna be Koval versus Nana. And yeah, 5 minutes is up. So Mateo looks like he's a no-show. So we'll boot him. Unfortunate. Maybe we'll see him next time though. Reload the page just to make sure he didn't check in last second without me seeing anything. No. Alright, process check-ins. And then that means the bracket is going to... Oh! Okay, for some reason it doesn't give me a... Actually, it makes more sense to do things this way. So let's do this. Alright, so what we're gonna do is I'm trying to put Steve on a different bracket right now, but because of how I think I showed this last time. Because of how dog shit challenges, when you try to like move people around, you have to like slide puzzle them. There we go. It actually worked first try. Well, for first try, I say, after I like slide puzzled like 10 people around. And then yeah, okay. And that looks like a good bracket. So we'll start turning. And the first game we're gonna do is we'll do Allan versus Shizune on stream, and then Dorek and Koval off stream. Actually, no, we have few enough people that we can probably just do both on stream. Yeah, we'll do one off stream and one on stream, just to start so that everybody in the earlier one gets actual play again. Also, Dorek, I think last tournament I kept calling you Dork because I was just omitting the 3. Is it Dorek? Because the 3 is supposed to be an E, yeah? So it's Dorek, correct? To stay swim. Yeah, I'll keep you swim. Let me see. What are you on the bracket? Oh, you want to stay swim. Okay, yeah, I'll, cause you're... So, yeah, if you want, I'll put you in as, swim on the, whatever. Okay, so let me go into callouts then. So... So, Allan versus Shizune on stream. And then Dorek or Swim versus Koval off stream. That way we just get both first rounds playing from the get-go. Honestly, if you signed up on Challenge as Dorek and your name is Dorek in the Discord, I'll probably just list you as Dorek unless you specifically want me to use Swim. Alright, so here we go. We've got stream control. So the first one is going to be Shizune versus Allan Leblanc. Save that shit, and then spectate. Not in game yet, still can't spectate. So yeah, we're just waiting for them to get in game. But it'll start pretty shortly. Very nice. I don't actually know who Shizune plays. I think Allan plays f-ryougi. I could be wrong on that though. I recall he played Ryugi. There we go. Now they're in. 0 delay 5 rollback. Oh, their connection is kind of iffy to each other. Maybe if I had known, I maybe would have seeded them on opposite sides. But oh well. All right. So stream controls up. Blah blah blah. Game is running. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm forgetting something with the stream. Okay, they're good to go. Anyway, Allan, so it looks like Allan's going to be playing f-ciel, and Shizune is going to be on f-miyako. F-ciel, not a character you see too often. F-miyako, also known as, like, the fucking grappler in Melty Blood that has a techable throw. Because the just amazing amount of, like, damage she can get out of the corner. She has a hard time in neutral. Again, with the short normals, she gets really good reward in the corner. One of the highest damage characters in the game. Comes in with the JB, lands and brings him up. Gonna take him back down. Already 4k damage and puts him in the corner. The really high damage people know Miyako for. Hits him with the 2A. Jabs him low. Gonna bring him back up. Take him back down. Not as much damage, but honestly, one more good hit's gonna kill him. ciel comes out with a DP though. Coming up and putting some pressure on a mid-screens. He's gonna take him all the way to the corner. Uses those fast flash punches. I believe the flash punches, I don't know if they're plus, but I think they are at least 0. So the flash punches are good as frame traps. And good to kind of enforce respect from outside of your opponent's range. They've traded with each other to get each other's health back where they want them. Flash punches in the corner. He's sitting right outside of his range. He really doesn't want to reset on Miyako, you can see, because of the really high output of damage that Miyako has. Resetting on her, especially with ciel, who's got that like really high committal dash, resetting in is really dangerous. She'll do... Miyako can take you almost all the way to the corner and do a shit ton of damage if she spends meter on it. So you can see him, when he does his pressure, he's using those flash punches a lot further out just to try to enforce this space, knowing Miyako can't contest him with her stubbier normals and not have the time to get them and their active frames out. Playing in neutral, gonna bring him back up, take him all the way back down the corner. Misses the air throw, but Miyako moves our air unblockable and Melty, brings him back down, ends up mashing on wake up though, so he's gonna get caught. Hits him with multi-flash punch, doesn't OTG, I don't even know if you can OTG there, but does some basic A stagger pressure, goes in for a throw, and the first game is gonna end up going to Allan. One thing, so a lot of people you don't see c-ciel, or f-ciel too much, but something that f-ciels will do a lot is she has this shadow dagger you might see eventually, which looks like it's a mid, but actually needs to be blocked low, and it's very plus. So you'll see a lot of ciels using it on Hoki. Goes for a DP, but ends up not getting, not actually getting it. Miyako blocks it, gonna take him back up, doesn't get a huge punish out of it, but health is low enough that one more good hit might take him. He gets it with the JA on the overhead as a counter hit, but he isn't able to pick up on it. Using those JBs to kind of try to like catch his landing out. Comes down with the JC and ends up hitting him. It's a really active button. It's really easy to throw that button out when you're really high up in Miyako's arc and just let yourself fall right into place. It makes her very hard to anti-air. There we go. JB hits on the backside for Miyako, one of those characters that's really hard to catch out of position because of those buttons that use, well, she's got those air buttons to hit behind her. It's very hard to put out of position a character who can hit on both sides. Bringing him up, taking him back down. Kind of waiting, maybe trying to bait out another DP, but he doesn't DP. Also respecting the pressure, though, so he doesn't really get too much out of Miyako respecting his DP. Jumps out of the flash punch. Ends up getting counter hit, side swaps him, but doesn't get a lot of damage out of it. Going up with the stagger pressure on ciel. Doing those kinds of, like, doesn't go in for a dash. Probably trying to catch A-mash with those longer B buttons, sitting right outside the A button range, but he's unsuccessful with it. Miyako coming down with the JC, hitting with some shoulder bash, do some basic stagger pressure, going up, coming back on the other side, ends up not connecting, but goes with the DP, ends up side swapping him, even though it's air blocked, and he comes down, and the second game is going to go to Shizune. So they're 1-1 right now. For some reason, the scoreboard didn't update, but there we go. It looks like it did now. 1-1. Finding a bit of a hard time getting... I don't know if f-ciel has the daggers she can throw the way the other ones do, but it's in any kind of matchup where you're playing neutral against Miyako and you only really have normals as your neutral tool as well, Miyako is almost always going to be kind of on the defending end of things because her normals are a lot more active, if smaller. So it's very hard to approach into her if she's playing a really strong Okiwaza game. Right now, though, not really seeing that. Miyako has him in the corner, goes for a shield to maybe try to catch some A-mash meaty, but it doesn't actually end up connecting. Bringing him back up, taking him back down, Gonna go for a DP, jumps right over the top of him, comes with the 2A, but he isn't actually able to get the punish. Recovers from DP fast enough, gets a counter hit JB though. If he has meter, he might be able to finish this. He doesn't. He does get the meter, doesn't able to finish it though. 3.5k damage, going up, avoiding a second DP, coming in, but he doesn't get the punish a second time. f-ciel, that means he does have a chance to come back, but he is taking pressure right now, and yeah, Miyako jumps over, hits him with an elbow in the head, jump cancels it, and that's gonna get him out, taking him down for the first round. f-ciel jumping up, getting him with the counter hit button. What is that? Counter hit JB? I don't really know what f-ciel's button looks like in the air, but he does bring him down, puts him in the corner, goes in for these dash, some A staggers, some staggering the dagger punches, comes in with punishes, but he isn't able to convert off of it, uses the flash punch on the outside, but Miyako doesn't try to jump out, so he has him coming right back in, putting f-ciel back in the corner. 3.9k damage, that's a lot of damage. Coming in, getting a meaty A button, going in for a throw. Those probably were tick throw A's, but he got hit anyway, and then on just the confusion of the scramble, ends up getting thrown. Brought up, taken back down, 2.5k off a throw. That's some grapple of them. Goes for shield on wake up Miyako, ready for it. Comes in, grabs him, bring him back up. Is he going to be able to kill him? Doesn't have the meter to kill him, but one more hit's going to do it. Even just a raw throw, and he blocks the DP, and he's going to go in. No, doesn't even throw. Just goes for the 2-way punish, and that's going to be enough to take out Allan. So first game in the tourney, gonna end up going to Shizune on the f-miyako. So let me update the challenge scores to 1, and then so at this point I think we'll watch both round 2s. Yeah, we'll watch both round 2s. So next we'll see Nana and Dorek on stream. I'll do the call outs. Nana versus Dorek on stream. And that'll be our next matchup. Let me update the let me update the I keep forgetting what it's called. The stream control. I need to update the stream control to have the proper names. I need to get on top of that. I believe Nana is a Roa player, or not a Roa player. No, excuse me. He's a if I recall, he's a Nero player. I don't know if he mains F or C though. I've played against his Nero a few times, but I think he's played both of them, so I'm not quite sure which one he mains. There we go, and we're in game. Dorek's going to be on player 1 side, Nani's going to be on player 2 side, so I'll give these a swap. He's been playing lots of h-len. Oh, Nana has been playing h-len, huh? Interesting. H-len's a good character. One we don't see often outside of, like, Japanese arcades a lot. It's still speeding up, but yeah, it looks like Nana's going to be on the h-len, and we're going to have Dorek on the HR grid. Okay, they're good to go. In this matchup, I believe that h-len is going to end up being the more defense-oriented character, just because the icicle she can use to kind of protect a lot of space while maintaining her momentum. It's going to make it really, really hard for Arcruid to get in, because while Arcruid is a really strong character with really good pressure and pretty good neutral, those neutral tools she does have are almost entirely on normal. There we go, hits him with a stone hat, comes under his IED, throws him up into the corner, gonna hit him, bring him back up. How many throws is he gonna get? 2 throws? Okay, just 2 throws. Goes in with the Neko. The first hit of that Neko is an overhead. You do have to watch out for that. Hits him with a double overhead, coming up, bringing him back down, goes into heat, so if he does get hit, it doesn't really matter. It means he can do something risky. There we go. Ends up missing the tech out, but it doesn't really matter. As he is in heat, he is able to burst him out. Coming back down on top of him, using the cross-up from the multi-hitting ball attack that Len does. And first round goes to Nana. Very, very commanding lead. Second round, here we go. Coming back down with those JCs. Man, Len has some of the best air buttons in the game. The ability, well, arguably, the ability to IED people and multi-hit with that move that hits on both sides, as well as the fuzzy potential of that really low-hitting JC she has, makes her really, really hard to contest in the air. Bringing him up, taking him back down, 3.9k. Remember, the first hit of that Neko is an overhead. Hits him with the fuzzy, gonna get him with a combo. He ends up bursting out. It looks like on the H move, he did go into his heat from taking the damage, getting meter. Gonna put him all the way back in the corner, using the multi-hits from the air moves. Whiffs that move, giving Arcwood time to jump out, but he's not able to capitalize on it. He does whiff his own move. Here we go, hits him with the 5A. Gonna bring him into the corner, elbow, bring him up, taking him back down, meteors him into the ground. What do we get? 4.2k, 4.3k, 4.4k. Alright, 4.4k is where we're gonna go. Goes for an overhead meaty, comes in with the Rekka series, delays it all the way, but oh no, Nana shields it, ready for the third delay, and he's gonna get how much out of this? 1.6k damage, and he goes for the left right. Would that left right? No, probably it's not a real left right, but he does miss with the overhead to get a meaty Neko rocket coming on the way up. One more hit's gonna do it in, so you can see Dorek playing really defensively, trying to not take that last hit, but it also does leave him open for throws. It doesn't look like Nana wants to go for the throw, though. He wants to play that really kind of aggressive, floating right above the ground in the air game. To hit him with a multitude of overheads to come in for a low. Getting with the Rekka pressure, but he's kind of hesitant. There we go. Hesitant to use that third Rekka again, because Nana has proved that he is ready and willing to shield that third hit of the Rekka. So once he's proven that he's, like, you know, willing to contest that Rekka, you have to be a lot more careful with it. Coming in and getting with the counter hit already from the get-go, but Nana is able to swap, turn the tables on and put him in the corner. 4.1k, getting with an ice shard to send him in the air. Neko first hit his overhead. It looks like he's adapted to that, but oh no, he gets hit by the fuzzy a second time. Going into heat, gonna take him up. How many throws is he gonna get? One throw. Two throws? No, he's not gonna go for a second throw. Gonna blow the meter to get a little bit of extra damage. Gonna get a hard knockdown. Neko Rocket comes out late to meaty with Neko Rocket. Gets him with the, another ice shard. Gonna bring him up. Is it gonna be enough damage? One throw. Is he gonna get enough damage out of this? Two throws coming out right here. Can he get a third throw off of it? Nope, he's just gonna use some OTG damage. Maybe try to force a tech out. However, Dork respecting not teching out, but he does go for a shield on the walk up. Is in heat though, so it's okay to whiff shields like that because you will be able to get out pretty safely. IAD's backwards to try to find a kick button for Nania's approach, but he's not really doing it. He's kind of playing really safe right now, just going up in the air, trying to line up these hits, and he ends up getting counter hit for it. Brought back down, left, right, and brings him out of the corner. Gonna get some mid-screen, goes for a shield, but he comes back over the top of him, isn't able to confirm it though. Right now, it's looking pretty even. I was about to say can't add a chip because I'm playing Guilty Gear, but you can't add a chip. Goes for the fuzzy, ends up missing it though. Right now, though, it looks like Dorek stuck in this kind of, like, really oppressive up, down, high-low pressure. Doesn't get any damage off of a bunker being H-moon, and he ends up there. That's what I was talking about. The ice shards used to protect your space. You're allowed to kind of maintain momentum with them, so you can eye dash backwards, throw an ice shard out, and it puts up this really big disjointed hitbox that makes it really hard to approach you while also retreating yourself properly. We have him in the corner right now, getting pressure, but he is able to jump out, gets him on the back end with that JC. It is cross up pretty well, even though it is a single hit move that doesn't cross up quite as well as the multi-hits. Ends up getting mashed out. 2k damage, 3k damage probably around here. Yeah, 2.8k damage. Gonna bring him in the corner. Hits it with a fake overhead, goes into a low. I don't know if he was trying to catwalk out or if he just blocked high, but he's gonna be put in the corner. One more hit's gonna do him in. What's he gonna go for? Is he gonna try to go for an OTG? Another overhead? And no, it's a fake overhead into a throw. So, alright, stream is starting to shit itself. Stream is starting to freeze up a bit. No, okay, maybe that was just a momentary thing. Anyway, coming in, already getting his pressure started. Gonna put him all the way in the corner using those, like, jumps. Is he gonna go for a fuzzy? No, can't go for it. Ends up disrespecting all the jumps. Goes for a shield, and he is in heat, meaning that if he does get reversal on right here, it's really not too big of a deal. So he's playing really aggressively right now. We're not really too afraid of the ice shards because he can't really do much off it. Gets crossed up, but again, he does just heat out, so it's not a big deal. Shields on wake up, but he isn't able to punish it. He's not quite fast enough. His delayed meaty was a little bit too slow. Now, Nana in heat, putting him in the, Arcrid in the corner. Ends up bursting out relatively safely, which lets Arcrid out of the corner, but he has the corner again on the other side of it. Gets it with a cross-up on the other side, though. Ends up Glenn teching out. Pretty fast-paced game, kind of hard to keep up with, getting a play-by-play right here. It's been pretty close as well. You don't really see Nana trying to kind of protect his space with the ice shards, and with the health disadvantage, he's going to kind of have a hard time doing that. You wouldn't want to approach him as Arcrid if you have this health advantage anyway. So he kind of has to play up. Really abusing these fuzzies in the corner. Arcrid goes for a DP, but oh no, ends up getting missed. Gonna get him with a 5v starter. How much damage is he gonna get out of this? Brings him up with the ice shard. Goes for a throw. 3.1 damage. Uses the ice shard for a meaty. Comes back in. Gets him with the fuzzy again. Comes up. Is he gonna have enough damage to bring him back down? Goes into heat. Is he gonna be able to do anything with this? Uses that, yeah, and you can OTG with those. And that's gonna be second round going to Nana. So, alright. Nice. Good games on that. You don't see h-len too often outside of like at show videos when I believe it's Rakuchen playing him. So it's interesting. It's fun to see that character. Thank God you don't see her that much. Yeah, she is kind of annoying to deal with, especially when you're one of those characters that doesn't really have great neutral tools, or your normals are your neutral tools. Approaching into those icicles really is so annoying, especially when she can retreat so safely with them and convert off of them for the most part if she gets hits in the right places. So it looks like the next game we're gonna have is gonna be Yun/Steve versus Shizune. So that's going to be our next game. I believe Steve is a h-len player. So, and then Shizune, naturally, we saw him play f-miyako earlier. Okay, the stream is starting to shit itself now. Okay, that might have been a momentary thing. Yeah, so my ISP is pretty awful, and the stream will possibly move in and out and start shitting itself. So I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but right now I have my bitrate set to 4,000 and it's running pretty smooth, but occasionally it does hiccup, so my audio might cut out. So I might be saying, like, I'm trying to fix it and you guys won't end up hearing it. But if the stream's quality gets randomly really awful, then it's probably because I drop shit down to like 1,000 bitrate just so that it like functions long enough for me to try to get it to recover. So here we go. We're gonna have Yun/Steve is gonna be on player 2, and then Shizune on player 1. Swap those, 0 that, hit start, and then we're good to go. But yeah, I believe Steve is a h-wlen player, so we're going to be seeing h-wlen versus Miyako. That's another one of those kind of matchups where he's going to be protecting space a lot with his icicles, and Miyako has those kind of stubby normals. So with some characters, like f-tohno, for example, if you block icicles at certain ranges, you can sweep them, and then kind of, even if you don't get a big damage or any kind of like big confirm off of it, you can at least kind of get pressure off of that. Miyako, though, does have those stubbier buttons, so it might be a bit harder for her to navigate those in neutral. Alright, my thing crashed, so let's try connecting again. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I believe Steve plays the, I believe he plays h-wlen. There we go. Alright, loading in. It's gonna spin its wheels for a while, but that's whatever. We got him on the right sides and everything, so looking good, looking good. So yeah, we're gonna see the f-miyako versus the h-len. In this matchup, I imagine h-len is probably going to be the, or h-wlen, probably going to be the more defensive-oriented character, with Miyako being the aggressor in the matchup, having to approach, again, into icicles. I believe the way it works is h-wlen's, it's either her air upward icicle or her ground upward icicle is air unblockable. So it's not always easy to just like super jump and block through the arc at lens if they have that kind of read on you. And with the shorter normals that Miyako has, she's going to want to be in the air a lot. So, however, if she's possibly able to bait out the icicle early, the ground one is air unblockable? Okay. If she is able to bait out the icicle early, though, she might be able to super jump in, block through her arc, and then rise up with a second neutral jump, and then, with the active normal she has, come down and punish Len with that. And a JC normal, okay, they're good to go. And a JC normal coming out of Miyako is going to be pretty big damage, and then being put in the corner against h-wlen. h-wlen being a character that does notoriously have some really good defensive options, but at the same time, a defensive option is a defensive option, and called out properly, it will get punished for the massive amount of damage that Miyako is capable of. Already off to a good start, anti-airing Miyako, throwing him back down into the corner and bringing him up. Doesn't really confirm off it. There we go, goes for a counter hit, baiting out him trying to use buttons on the way back down, saying, alright, you think I'm going to drop combos? I'm not going to drop combos. You need to respect the fact that I'm not going to drop combos, and I'm going to be resetting you. Alright, kid? Bringing it back down. Comes Ono, gets the DP. We remember whenever Vilka gets one of those, he's going to go all the way to the corner and get like 5k damage. Is this going to be the same for Shizune? 3.8k damage, not quite as much, but still a lot of damage for a DP to come over to the corner. As I said right there, he's going to try to get him with those anti-air icicles, but he is able to jump over them. Maybe get a punish if he's low enough, but no. The anti-air icicle does come down, gets him with the counter hit, knocks him back into the corner. First round, going to end up going to Steve. Here we go. Already going in. Misses his air throw, but Miyako not able to punish it. Gets him in with the anti-air icicle. Again, as I said, like, yeah, that's going to be a pretty, that's going to be a, I don't know if iconic is the right word, but pretty notable part of the matchup is going to be those anti-air icicles policing a lot of that airspace. So Miyako's going to have to be really patient and neutral when she does get out of this corner if she wants to come in. We also have to watch out for the two kinds of icicles that h-wlen has. She has ones that aren't active when she throws them, but then when they disappear it multi-hits, and one that is active immediately. And the one that is active immediately is usually minus on hit, but the ones that dissipate after a while can be interrupted. So you have to kind of, it's hard to do, to gauge between the two, but you have to be able to impulsively see the difference between the two and react properly. And right there, you can tell that when there was that pause on the icicle, he realized to himself, okay, this is the multi-hitting one that's plus, I need to get the hell out of this because this is the interruptible one. But he didn't quite react to it fast enough, and he ended up getting hit by Steve coming back in. Air throw Steve right at the start of the round, putting him back down into the corner, but he does DP him out of the air. Gonna come back down, yep, keeps anti-airing him. That JB, while it does hit on multiple sides, while it does hit on both sides of Miyako, it also hits kind of high, so it is liable to get anti-aired against characters who have moves that are suitable to air-to-grounding people relatively well. Does that move have invincible frames? It doesn't have iframes, but Steve doesn't really care because he was in heat, so even if he used it, it was just kind of maybe a good starter if it did cash out a really bad stagger. Coming back down with a move, but he isn't able to get it. Uses his air DP, swaps sides with Miyako. Miyako's DP misses. That was like 3 moves in a row miss right there. I don't know if the icicle's air unshieldable or if he just missed it, but you can see right now, okay, he's starting to play a lot more patiently, using those forward dashes, backward dashes, dash blocking, trying to throw him off, but Steve, he's just ready for any kind of aerial movement, and he's just going to DP him. When you're one hit from death, Steve isn't looking for a big combo. He's not looking for anything flashy. He's just looking to recognize the anti-airs and recognize the jumps and anti-air them to just restrict the amount of like play you have, because this is the big weakness of Miyako, is that while she gets amazing damage and she has a really good throw, in neutral she struggles against characters who are very good at controlling the game. Bringing him up out of the corner, though, 4k damage almost. Bringing him back to the other corner, doing some A-stagger dash again, getting his throw. How much damage are you going to get off of this throw? 1.5k damage, 1.9, 2k, probably 2.5k damage is about what we're going to get out of this. Yeah, 2.5k damage and some Oki. But Steve doesn't go for a DP. He knew he's going to be trying to bait out his DP, so he just wakes up with a button to start his pressure. That respect from Miyako working against him a little bit, and then Steve goes burst him coming out of heat, puts him in the corner using the plus on hit, or the plus on block, multi-hit icicle, and Shizune doesn't actually react to the fact that it was the multi-hit icicle, and he gets stuck in the corner, and that second game is going to go to Steve. I feel like that's a really big part of playing against h-wlen, is knowing how to properly deal with those icicles, and being able to impulsively see and recognize this, whether it's going to be a single hit or a multi-hit one. It's one of those things that it takes a bit of practice, but it's really, really imperative to the matchup, because if you're not able to recognize that, h-wlen is just going to keep using those plus on block, multi-hitting icicles and keep you in the corner forever. And it's not a knowledge check that kills you, but it's a knowledge check that, because you're going to be stuck in pressure for so long, vastly increases your chances of dying. And you could tell that Steve was definitely getting away with it a lot in that matchup. So it's definitely not easy to get thinking about. But okay, so the next one we're going to be doing is we'll do Dorek versus Allan in losers round 1. So I'll get that call out going. And I think we're probably just going to be able to watch every game from here on, because since only 6 people joined, we really don't have like any buffers where it's like, oh shit, we have 4 people right now waiting to play in losers. Okay, let's just get half of them going. We're probably going to be able to watch most of these, especially since they're going by pretty fast. So Dorek versus Allan Leblanc, and they're going to be on stream. So that's gonna be our next match. Let me update the scoreboard to say Dorek, and this one's gonna be Allan Leblanc. Zeroed out. Hit go. And it should update pretty soon. Okay. So let's start getting connected to them right about now. Let's see, spectate. And who's going to be on whose side once we finally get this going. It's going to be Dorek on player 1 side, Allan on player 2 side. So continue with that. Dorek going to be playing the H-arc like earlier. And what did Allan play? I have in my head that he's an f-ryougi player, so I can't remember. Oh, it was f-ciel. Right. There it is. So Allan going to be on the f-ciel, Dorek going to be on the H-arc. They have started the game already, despite the fact that I didn't give him the go, but I might have got in soon enough that... Okay, I got in soon enough that it wasn't spinning its wheels. So, we're good to go. Is Dorek AFK? It looks like he's just standing there. I don't think he's... I think they might be desynced. This round might not count. What the hell is going on here? Okay, alright. I don't know if they've actually decided they're gonna play, but whatever. They're going now. Took a while, but okay, I guess we'll say they're playing right now. So we have Dorek putting Allan in the corner, doing some blah blah arc pressure or whatever. I'm trying to catch up from where we were, because that was such a like, they didn't wait for me to go, and then it seemed like one of them just wasn't playing. But I mean, they're good to go. Okay, so Allan coming up, gets in with the stagger pressure. The 6AA, like I've said in the past, H-arc with the 6AA, it is plus on block, so it's not impossible for arc players to just kind of like windmill their arms out in the middle of fucking nowhere, have it come all the way in and get you, and then you're like, oh well shit, now I'm plus on block, I have to take this. Side swaps him out of the corner. I didn't see that one coming. Bringing him up, taking him back down. How much corner carry is he going to get out of this? 4.7, or no, 2.8, 2.9. Probably, okay, about 2.9k damage, and he's in heat, which means risky resets are not a problem for him at all. Doing that basic stagger punch, kind of pushing himself out, not using the full Rekka series, probably expecting maybe a shield to come out, trying to go for a reset on it, and he isn't able to get too much out of it. He gets brought in the corner by Allan over here on the f-ciel. Bringing him up, doesn't really get too much of a conversion off of it, though. And here we go, you can see he's kind of windmilling his arms out there, but he ends up stopping on the second of his swipes, and Allan comes in, ends up bringing him up, taking him back down. Nope, ends up missing that, so he gets counter hit on the way back down, bursts out though, one more hit's gonna do him in, he ends up going for a throw break, hits him with the 2B on the way. Is this gonna be enough to kill him? Was it counter hit? No. Is he gonna go for it? He goes for a DP, but c-ciel's DP notoriously whiffs on crouchers. So it goes right over the top of him, and that's gonna be first game going to Doric. You know, I thought to myself, he's probably going to DP out of this. I know c-ciel's got a meterless DP. And when I saw the kind of way Doric was moving, I'm thinking to myself, oh no, he's going to swing into it, and then it just goes right over. I completely forgot that it goes over crouchers, and Arch is pretty low when she swings. So, worked out well for him, I suppose. Put him in the corner, going into heat right now, so he doesn't really have to worry too much about, you know, getting hit out. Can go for more maybe dangerous resets or blow some meter on damage if he really wants to. Going for an air throw, swapping him down the other side. Gets hit by the multi-flash punches, but because it's like a hit grab, kind of, it doesn't actually trigger his burst. So it allows c-ciel to keep him in the corner and maintain his pressure. Going in and being right outside of the A range, allowing him to kind of whiff punish, but he doesn't really get too much off of it. Going for another flash punch, but it doesn't actually do anything. Arch coming out of the corner, but gets hit after whipping his move in the air. Coming back down on top of him, though, but again, he isn't able to confirm. Using flash punches to kind of keep his space, but Arch challenging those flash punches with the Rekka coming out. It's so forward moving that it's really, really hard to kind of, like, keep her out of that space. Even, if you're keeping her out of that space with something that is not normal that you could chain into, possibly. Coming back down after missing his dive kick, and he's gonna get brought up and back down by Arch. Arch he's always finding himself in the corner. There we go. Goes on the other side, teleports, but he isn't able to get far enough away to not get punished. Going with some basic A staggers, using the same string as normal. Flash punch to get a hard knockdown. There we go. It looks like he kind of autopiloted into a string that doesn't go into a combo, but he is able to confirm with an IAD counter hit on the way back in. Going for that same exact string again, but he goes in for a redash instead of a flash punch this time, and Doric, he's not respecting that. He's thinking to himself, alright, you got me with that sweep once. I know you're going to try to give me with that sweep a second time, so I'm going to challenge, and it ended up working out well for him. Bringing him into the other corner, taking him up, bringing him back down, 3.3k damage. c-ciel trying to tech out, and he's going to be able to successfully tech out, but being in heat, you are able to use Arc Drive, and Arcturus Arc Drive is full screen. So, Doric, not really too worried about the fact that c-ciel gets out. c-ciel trying to kind of, like, scrape by with a projectile to harass him, keep him in the corner, but ends up kind of working against him there, as he wasn't really paying enough attention to what Arc's options were with the meter he had. So, alright, so that round is going to go to Doric. If they end up starting early, they should probably just play it out, because I will catch up eventually, but I do prefer they wait. Alright, so then we have, what do we have going on next? So that was Doric versus Allan. Doric gonna take both games, and Allan getting knocked out. Allan on the, yeah, that's what the score was. So the next one we're gonna have Shizune versus Koval. So, Shizune versus Koval on the stream. And then I'll update the scoreboard again. I'm getting a lot more fluent with that. I don't have to like force myself to think about it as much. I had Elios cast with me during the Sailor Moon tourney last week, and while that stream was a shit show because my ISP just decided I wasn't allowed to stream that day, I definitely saw the value of doing dual commentary with someone, because I was able to set up the stream a lot while Elios filled a bunch of time talking about the matches. And then at the end of the day as well, because Elios knows more about Sailor Moon than me, usually since I'm just the one going off, it's kind of like a force of nature scenario where I just kind of like sit here and I talk and I talk and I talk, and I don't really have anyone to bounce shit off of, so I just gotta kind of keep going. But playing dual commentary with someone who I know knows more about the game than I do allowed me to kind of put myself in the secondary situation where I can spend a lot of the commentary time asking questions and letting Elios take the lead. So it was a good experience. I should definitely try to get someone to do dual casting with me next time I do a Melty tourney to get the experience with that. Because most commentary is going to be with 2 people. So we're going to have Koval on player 1 with Shizune on player 2. Koval going to be playing the f-tohno, it looks like, and Shizune going to be on the f-miyako. Okay, they're good to go. Both of these characters are kind of similar in the sense that they don't really have any specific tools for neutral outside of their normals and just their movement, but they're built a bit differently, whereas Tohno's got the longer normals with a bit more disjoint, but Miyako's got the shorter normals with a lot more active frames. So Tohno doesn't really want to approach Miyako because if she's playing Okiwaza, she can catch him out a lot with her active frames, but Miyako doesn't want to approach Tohno because Tohno can... not on reaction, but if he's playing very reactively, a lot of times do very safe things to, at a distance, stop her from coming in the first place. However, she is a lot more maneuverable than Tohno, and look at this damage in the corner. Both characters are very high damage characters, and this is going to be a matchup where definitely, basically 3 hits is going to be seeing someone. No, Okizumi, Okazumi is Oki when they're waking up. Okiwaza is the act of... There's 3 kinds of offenses. There's, or like 3 kinds of elements to playing offense. There's Okiwaza, Sashikeshi, and Atewaza. Atewaza is attacking someone directly. So what you see Tohno doing right now, where he's going to dash and go for a meaty, that's Atewaza. That is using a move that you think is going to be hitting your opponent directly. Atewaza is beaten by Okiwaza, which is the act of throwing out a move preemptively that if your opponent isn't moving, won't be hitting them. But if they come in, it will hit them. So the upside to Okiwaza is that it beats Atewaza because you're throwing out moves preemptively. So when you see f-tohno maybe sitting outside of Miyako's range and throwing out 5 Bs that are whipping, he's playing an Okiwaza game where he's trying to catch her preemptively, moving in or throwing out a move. And then Sashikeshi, if I'm pronouncing that right, I believe I am, but my Japanese is... that is the act of waiting. And Sashikeshi ends up beating Okiwaza because you're playing reactively. You're seeing what they're going to do, and you're waiting to react to that. So if someone, let's say, is doing, like, Okiwaza 5Bs, or let's say someone is doing, like, let's say there's a Nania player who's doing a lot of Okiwaza DPs, because if you dash in, you're going to get caught out, and if you jump, you're going to get caught by it. So if you are playing Sashikeshi, you can kind of maybe take a step forward to fake Atewaza, and then when the Nania DPs, he whiffs entirely because you're actually applying Sashikeshi to wait for him to whiff his Okiwaza, and then you go in and you punish him. And those are kind of like the 3 pillars of, like, playing neutral. It's the Okiwaza, the Atewaza, and the Sashikeshi. So that's why when I say, like, he's applying really good Okiwaza here, what I mean by that is he's usually sitting outside of a range, and he's playing this kind of game where he wants to cage them in and play very preemptively, rather than directly attack his opponent. Which is very smart against Miyako, because directly attacking her is really, really dangerous, because when you do that, you are putting yourself in her effective range. And with the amount of damage she can output, I mean, just look at this. With the amount of damage she can output, you don't really want to do that if you can avoid it. Tohno is a very, very strong, kind of more defensively oriented Okiwaza character, because while his pressure might fall off if people are able to EX block or they challenge you a lot, his ability with his longer normals and high damage to keep you caged in the corner with these really safe reads to catch jump outs or to catch you dashing up, the reward he gets off of those is really high. So he's very well played as a kind of more reactive Okiwaza type character that doesn't really want to pressure you directly, but wants to keep you caged in the corner with, like, safe gambles that net him maybe not the highest reward, but reward that doesn't give you many options after he's scored. So that's what I mean when I kind of am differentiating those. And as we're kind of seeing here with the matchup, Miyako gets in, it's really hard to get her out, and when she is out, Tohno has the problem of he has to be the one to approach Miyako. It's this kind of matchup where when they have kind of even amounts of health, it's kind of even, because they both kind of want to play in the same way, but neither of them want to approach each other. But with Tohno at the low health, if he does get out the corner, he's still going to be the one to force to approach Miyako, and she's going to be able to put out those really active hitboxes. Goes in for a shield to catch the stomp, and ends up getting him out of the corner, but he's not able to do much. Goes for a DP, but oh no! Ends up, that move has to have, like, no recovery or something. I don't know how much recovery that move has, but I swear I have a hard time punishing that whenever it goes over my head as well. So that's just that's a difficult move. It fakes, you know, being vulnerable just long enough to make you want to swing into it and then get your ass kicked. So, rough to fight into, but, yeah, it is what it is. So, we're gonna have Shizune taking both of those with his Miyako, and then we're gonna go right into Shizune versus, actually, no, let's do Nanaya versus, Nanaya. I keep saying Nanaya because I'm used to completing. Let's do Nana versus Steve on stream. And I'll also ping to them to keep in mind that this is going to end up being a best 3 out of 5 because it's going to be winners finals. So versus Alright. So I've given them their pings. Next round is going to be Nana versus Steve, and it's going to end up being, like I said, first to 3 rather than first to 2. And then since Nana has been playing the h-len and Steve plays the h-wlen, we're going to see like the Len rivalry, where they both kind of have similar movesets, but utilize them a lot differently. Whereas h-len kind of has those icicles that are allowing her to like maintain her momentum and kind of be used in the air a lot more. h-len kind of has those more stationary ones that you can gamble on to get a little more frame advantage or to play a bit more reactively. So it's kind of hard. I believe in this matchup, if I had to make a guess, I would say that h-wlen is going to end up being the more defensively oriented one, and h-len is going to end up being the aggressor just because of the amount of movement that h-len is allowed and the amount of strong defensive options, both in neutral and on defense, that h-wlen has. I'm going to imagine that Steve is going to end up wanting to be the more defensive one in this matchup, but you never know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And I have Steve set to 2, it's supposed to be set to 0. And then we're just kind of waiting for the game to finish spinning its wheels. And then, yeah, this is the other fun thing about Len matchups, is that because they have similar colors, and White Len and Black Len both have like color palettes that are the other one's base color palette, it can be kind of hard to remember which Len is which on the fly, especially since they got the same moon, so I can't even kind of be like, oh yeah, I know these movesets. It's like, you have to kind of tell by the difference in the icicles, or just remember from the get-go who picked what color. But it looks like White Len is going to be the lighter Len, so it shouldn't be too hard to have to keep an eye on. So here we go. We have Steve versus Nana, round 1, both on their respective lens. Here we see, yeah, okay, so there we go, the icicle attacks like I was talking about. Steve puts himself in the corner, naturally, because he ends up kind of playing the more defensive game, but Nana, using his icicles to poke in, ends up baiting his DP, and he's going to bring him up, take him back down. What kind of offense is he going to run off this? An OTG into a cat. Doesn't get hit overhead, but he goes for the fuzzy. Steve blocks the fuzzy, comes back down. Oh no, gets hit by the mid though. Probably trying to jump out or retaliate in some way and unable to do it. Gets knocked down. We're going to go back into a pressure reset for Nana. Ends up getting shielded out. Goes for a move that is minus, but still safe to try to bait a retaliation out of Steve. Successfully gets it, and that's going to take him up. Getting him on the first round. Perfect round coming out of Nana. Here we go, second round. Steve playing a little bit more aggressively from the get-go and using the icicles and the normals to kind of get in his face and like create walls to put him down with. Now we have the White Len putting the F-len, or the normal Len in pressure in the corner. Ends up using an offensive bunker to keep him in the corner, and then goes in for the second round. Here we go. Yeah, we see Steve playing a bit more defensively, but he ends up getting the side swap on Nana, putting him in the corner, and not really able to get a confirm off it though. But he's pulling himself back with his icicle. The multi-hit parts getting him, kind of creating this like icicle wall. Doesn't really want Nana to get in. It looks like he's found his kind of rhythm now, where he wants to play that kind of more defensive game. But naturally, if you play a character like that, you don't really want to protect yourself in the corner. You want to protect the mid screen if you can. So you can see Steve kind of finding his footing, trying to protect the mid-screen for the earlier parts of the set, but now he's found himself back in the corner. He does have that health advantage, though, so he's not really too afraid of this. Puts Nana back down in the corner, uses the multi-hitting Icicle to force Nana to jump out, just to hit him with an anti-air Icicle. It is a counter hit, but he's not able to get too much out of it. That Icicle just completely missed for some reason, but Nana reacts very quickly to the fact that he wasn't being putting in block stun by the Icicle and starts going for pressure. Ends up getting scooped back into the corner, though. Counter-hitting Steve after teching on Steve, not punishing the ground tech. Getting brought up, taken all the way back down. And what are we going to see out of this? Tries to go up to air throw Steve, but Steve coming back down after back-teching with the button. Back-teching does have kind of like a throw invincibility window on it, so it is really, really strong to, if you do like back-tech and throw a button, you can catch people trying to air throw you. Or if you think someone is trying to meet you with a button, doing back-tech and then throwing your own A button out, a lot of times will counter-hit people because you can get the button out right as your invul ends. It's really, really strong, really annoying to have to deal with. Here we go, we see round 2. Steve takes, or game 2, yeah, round 2 of game 2. Steve ends up getting the health advantage early, but Nana puts him in the corner and ends up kind of chipping his health back down. Steve not really too worried because the health advantage isn't massive, but he is still kind of like, he's gonna have to approach eventually if Nana decides he really doesn't want to keep going. Scoops Nana on wake up to throw him all the way back, and then he kind of puts himself all the way back in the corner, protecting his face with Icicles. Try to run out, but the multi-hitting, the fact that those balls hit on both sides ends up keeping him in the corner, protecting that space. Nana now going into heat, getting a lot of that red health back, and having the meter to burn on just whatever he wants, as well as being able to go into a new burst if he needs to. He's got that big health advantage. You can tell that he doesn't really feel like he needs to push Steve as much anymore. He's doing a lot more walking backwards, a lot more like super jumping up and then blocking through the arc. He doesn't really feel the need to approach Steve anymore, especially when you're playing against h-wlen, who's got those kind of air reversals. He is really comfortable playing this kind of defensive game, waiting for Steve to come to him and maybe trying to find his options. But unfortunately, it doesn't really work out for him as he gets his shield punished and Steve comes back in. Is able to punish Steve's DP though. Steve protecting a lot of space. Nana goes with the shield, but he isn't able to get much off of it. Using the obscuration of the particles to go in and throw Nana, not really seeing what's coming on. But oh no, Nana comes in. He ends up missing his throw, but he's not able to punish it. He comes in looking for a fuzzy probably, expecting Steve to block that, not expecting the moves to hit, and it throws him off his rhythm or his height or something, and he ends up missing just long enough for Steve to come in and punish him. So second game is going to end up going to Steve. Third game we have Steve playing a lot more aggressively right out of the bat, getting him, I don't know if he tried to do a wake up reversal, but either way, he gets counter hit, brought back down, gets it with a low, but he doesn't convert into it. Using this kind of stagger pressure with the 6 AAs, Nana, there we go, jumping out of the Icicle, realizing that it's a multi-hitting Icicle, not the single hitting Icicle. Bring it up, take him back down to the corner, uses a cat. Cat comes out a little early, so it's not an overhead, but he does end up trading with Steve, so they don't end up going into blowing his burst. Uses meter on the command grab, but Nana just a little too high in the air for it to work. Steve with the HP advantage right now, but Nana getting a lot of that health back as he's going to heat. Burst out the DP, giving him the advantage in the hard knockdown in the corner. Goes for some kind of like meterless resets on like the I think that's a 2C. Trying to make Steve respect those like big staggers that he's got between his B and C buttons, but Steve not respecting DP's out. Still in the corner though, so the DP didn't get him out too far. Nana going for these fuzzies, but Steve blocking them pretty well. Going for an overhead, another overhead, not getting too much damage out of it though. He's just kind of picking at Steve, not really getting too much out of the hits he is in. Steve really well just kind of avoiding these the maneuvering that Nana's doing, but at the same time ends up getting caught out eventually. You stay still for long enough and let someone hit you, even as good as blocking as you are, eventually you're just gonna giving them more situations to open you up, and with Steve not really finding the escape out of the corner, even if he's not really like losing by taking all these hits, he's not putting himself in a position to win either. It's a very like play not to lose, not playing to win scenario for him, which isn't what he wants to be at unless he has maybe some kind of health advantage or the timer is running low. Nana coming in here, knocking him out of the air with the Icicle, but again, still having a hard time approaching. Steve definitely being the more defensive in this matchup, and it's kind of hard for Nana. You can tell Nana is kind of getting a little bit impatient in some regards because you spend so much time working your way in on h-len, and then you get hit by one of those Icicles, and she can just completely reverse the situation on you. So I can see how he might be getting frustrated because he spends a lot of time getting in, navigating this neutral, and then he gets hit by one thing, and it's like, oh shit, well now I gotta do that again. There we go, though. He ends up getting a counter hit on the whiffed DP coming out of Steve, but Steve gets him with a meaty, fakes a 2A that whiffs on purpose to hit him with a, like, 5B on wake up, gets 3K damage out of it. One good hit might end up killing Nana. Goes for the command grab. That's the longest reaching command grab in the game, with all the plus frames that Icicle gives, but he just uses those plus frames to kind of enforce some A stagger. Goes in with that and ends up getting shielded, but it still hits him. Ooh, right outside of Nana's range with those Icicles. Now Steve, the one in the corner. Although Nana is low enough that any kind of defensive option might be able to turn the tide for him, but it looks like Nana just kind of faking the fuzzies, going up, down, gets him with a low on the way down. So game 3 is going to end up going to Nana on the h-len. Both characters going up. Steve gets the air throw, bring him all the way down to the corner. 2.7k off an air throw, not bad. And he's going to be getting the multi-hit. Nana trying to reversal bunker. I don't know if that's what he wanted, but maybe he thought it was a single hit icicle coming out, but it was a multi-hit icicle, so it ended up catching his reversal bunker, being brought all the way up and taken back down. Okay, he's just gonna run out, but Nana has such a health deficit that Steve sees no reason to approach him. In fact, he's just gonna keep throwing these icicles, even if it's kind of unsafe. Who really cares if I get hit once or twice? One defensive option out of the corner will kill you. He does have to be careful, though, because if he lets Nana hit him too much, he will go into heat and get all of that red health back. And just as I was talking about that, here comes all that red health back. That one defensive option, that's all Steve needed to win, completely gone. It's gonna take 2 hits to kill Nana now, all in the span of time that it took him to get that meter back. So he's playing a bit of a dangerous game by trying to like play defensively, land that defensive option. But the downside is Nana can build that meter off of making him block, and on the off chance if he does get hit, Nana's gonna build all that meter immediately, putting him in a situation like this, where now the gamble of using a defensive option is much, much higher, and it will cause his death. First round is gonna end up going to Nana. Here we go, though. Steve coming in, going for an air throw. It looks like he's trying to add a read on it, though, but Nana adapting and saying, alright, I've been air thrown twice at the start of the round this game. I'm not gonna fucking jump again. I'm gonna make you with your air throw. Goes in for the fuzzy, but he ends up actually missing the fuzzy, and Steve, doing a delay shield, actually ends up missing the missed fuzzy. So he gets punished for missing his shield that he had for the proper read on the fuzzy. A bit of a scramble right there, but it ends up kind of working out for him because he is able to get out of the corner, although with this health deficit, I don't really know if you can call that a win. However, if he does go into heat very soon, he can kind of make a lot of that health back, and then, especially off these kinds of counter hits, he can bring himself back up to an area where Nana can't really be happy playing defensively. And here we go now. He's actually going to take the turn the tides, bring himself back up. Oh, Nana catwalks right under his arc drive, usually giving him a lot of frame advantage, probably not even taking into account that Nana can catwalk, and he's able to put him back in the corner, giving Nana the health advantage now, throwing cats on the ground, zoning with rocket and echoes, and now Nana puts himself in the corner. He's not really too eager to push because he does have that health advantage, but it's so close that one hit is going to be the difference between them. Coming in with an overhead, but Nana does DP out. Doesn't get too much off it though, but oh no, Steve whiffs his own DP that Nana used coming in, and he ends up getting hit. Third game gonna go to Nana, and that set's gonna go to Nana. Man, that was really unfortunate seeing that DP just fucking whiff like that, because it looked like Nana was going in. I thought he was going to get hit by it, and that was going to be the end of it, but man, no, he ended up missing and ended up punishing it really well, as opposed to, like, how we saw earlier, people were having a lot of trouble punishing, like, f-miyako DPs and stuff like that. Really stellar by Nana to be able to punish that. Also, really well played to catwalk under that projectile. He saw the arc drive, and in the super flash, a lot of people might think, I need to jump this, or fuck, I have to block this, but Nana instantly realizing he has catwalk and reacting flawlessly, going right under, getting a punish. He might have been able to get a bigger punish. I'm not really sure what the lens damages look like, but either way, he got like 2.5k damage and put Steve back in the corner, so it was a really, really nice reversal to see that. Steve probably feeling like, yeah, I've got the upper hand here. I'm going to use my invincible arc drive that has a lot of plus frames. What are you going to do this? And I'm going to walk right under it. You think I give a shit? Yeah, nice try, kid. So that's going to put Steve down in the losers bracket for the losers finals, and he's going to be either against Shizune or Dorek, which is going to be our next game. So let me... oh, shit, I did that in rolls. Whatever. So, okay. So now we update the board to, say, Shizune, Dorek, and 0 that, and this is going to be losers semis, I believe. Alright, so Shizune's got the host up. Control C. Let's try to get connected here. Shizune again being the f-miyako, gonna be versus Dorek's H Arcruid. Miyako probably being the higher damaging character of the two, but Arcruid having the more, probably the stronger neutral game, as well as the better pressure game, just because of the ability to use rebeats, her plus 6/6 that move her forward, and the Rekkas that allow her to close a lot of distance, whereas Miyako kind of has to rely on the really active normal she's got to kind of cage people in and then get really high damages off of that, and force respect with the plus frames that F-Moon has, and then go for throws. And while that's a very effective game plan, the ambiguity that Arc can add to her pressure game and her game plan just isn't there, and Arc can also do kind of the same thing that Miyako can. So it puts her kind of at this slight disadvantage both in pressure and in neutral, but with the high damage Miyako has, the health that Arc-Ruid has isn't going to be as big of a deal as it would be on more low damage characters. Where with low damage characters, sometimes it can feel like you have to hit Arc 7 times, and she only has to hit you 3. And it really does feel like that sometimes. Arc is really, really tanky when her health gets low, but that is one nice thing about playing a higher damage character is that while you still have to hit Arc, maybe if you have to hit, let's say if you got to hit someone 3 times to kill him with Miyako, you probably got to hit Arc 4 times. So she still has that really good HP bonus on top of the fact that if she heats halfway through or if she heats multiple times, well, it's H-Arc, so she can't heat. But you might have to hit her 5 times, which is it's still a difference from the more lower health, lower damage characters. Arc is fucking tanky. She can be difficult to deal with. And then we have Shizune on P1, Doric on player 2. Alright. Miyako, on the other hand, I don't think... does Miyako have a lower HP value than average? I think she's probably got a normal HP value, but it looks like Doric is going to be over here on the f-ryougi. He doesn't want to play the Arc in this matchup. He's saying, alright, you're going to play Miyako. That's cool. I'm going to play Ryugi. Ryugi's got much bigger normals than Arc-Ruid, bigger disjoins than Arc-Ruid. So I guess, but at the offside, Ryugi also doesn't have as much health to work with as Arc-Ruid. And against Miyako, that's like a whole 2 less mistakes you could possibly make before you get killed. Ryugi's kind of a hard character to play just because you don't really have the room to make mistakes with Ryugi. You know, you make 1 or 2 mistakes, and a lot of times that can just be death for you because she doesn't really have the HP pool to kind of like fuck around with that. Looks like the stream is kind of starting to shit itself, so I might end up lowering the bitrate, but they're good to go. So yeah, looks like we are going to be seeing the f-ryougi. So f-ryougi, very neutral-oriented character, not really huge on pressure, but with those bigger normals, she's probably and bigger normals and the bigger mobility, she's probably hoping she can kind of keep Miyako out a lot more effectively than Arc possibly could, with the mentality that if you're never able to get in, oh man, the game keeps like stuttering and lagging. If you're never able to really like get in the first place, then we're never really going to have this problem. Here's the problem though right now. Miyako DPs once and does 4.1k damage, bringing you all the way to the corner, hits you a second time. Ryugi doesn't really have the, like, liberty to take these kinds of hits. One more hit's probably going to kill Ryugi right here. This might be the end. Very, very possibly. Yeah, baits the burst and gets him. Ryugi doesn't have the liberties that Arc has to take as many big hits. If he was Arc-Ruid right there, he probably would have survived that, and maybe even had enough meter to go into a burst to take even less damage. But Ryugi doesn't really have the ability to fuck around like that. Getting brought back down 4.8k damage, goes for a throw. Oh, and the game freezes. But he is still able to convert, it looks like. This is the problem with Miyako, is that, stream shitting itself. The thing about Miyako is that you really don't want to take her throws, because whenever you take one of her throws, you take a lot of damage. But the second you start trying to counteract or avoid her throws, you are going to take even more damage from that. So it's like, it's this really weird, like, you lose if you don't take her throws because you take so much damage, but at the same time, okay, yeah, the stream is like completely fucking... I'm getting distracted while I'm talking to the stream, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the bitrate just like substantially, and then hope that that fucking fixes it. So we're gonna be getting some like fucking Lego ass looking Melty blood right here in a second. Stream is still in the red, still dropping shit tons of frames. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about this. This is literally just my ISP. But yeah, no, it is. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it. Alright, so first game, I'm gonna go to Shizune. Problem is it's literally my ISP. Like, there's physically nothing I can do about this except just continue to lower the bitrate until it's, like, fucking unseeable. And you guys probably can't even hear what I'm saying because it's dropping so many frames. There we go. The stream kind of looked like it recorded a little bit now. Because it just... God, my fucking OBS just keeps telling me that... Okay, it looked like it recovered a little bit now. It is literally just not letting me... It's not letting me upload any. Okay, looks like the stream is starting to recover a little bit, but we're gonna be getting this. No, still not recovering. Still then at 0 kilobytes per second upload. Anyway, I'll just, yeah, because there's nothing I can do, I'll just keep kind of casting. Hopefully it'll recover itself, and I'll try to work with it by the time it ends. But, getting put in the corner over there, doing some basic record pressure, hitting him with the unblockable part of the record pressure, bringing him up, and he ends up getting pulled out of the corner, though, trying to kind of just protect his space with the really long normals, so going back over to maybe get the knife, counter hitting and bring him back down, but he isn't able to get too much off of it. Ends up catching his DP this time, but again, he isn't able to do much off it. It looks like he's not trying to really convert too hard out of these. He's just trying to kind of play this game of, like, as long as you can't get in, then we're not gonna have any problems. So, second game, gonna go to Doric. It looks like half the stream still isn't running smoothly. It's like... This is also where I think second commentator helps out a lot, because they can kind of keep talking while I'm trying to troubleshoot this, whereas I'm like so focused right now on trying to troubleshoot this that like it's so fucking it's really hard to troubleshoot, and then it's really hard to troubleshoot and try to fix these problems at the same time. But no, all right. I'll try to keep it. You say you can still hear me, so I'm gonna try to keep it going. I'm like on my like fucking modem settings, trying to kind of figure shit out. Being brought up by the by Miyako, taking it back down, 2.5k damage. One more hit's probably gonna kill either of them. Goes for a throw, but he ends up getting it broken. Ryu coming in, gets him with the unblockable part of the Rekka, so that second round gonna end up going to Doric. So here we go. Last round, possibly match point for Doric. Being brought back down by the by Miyako, getting basically with the stack of pressure, being brought up, getting him caught out of the evidence on the confirm off fade, getting a counter hit on the other side though, bringing him back down, but he's not able to take him all the way to the corner, hitting with those punches, bringing him up. Both end up trading with the counter hit, Ryugi taking out of the corner, and Miyako also taking back in to try to catch something. So now Miyako being the one stuck in the corner, ends up getting his DP locked and being brought all the way into the corner. Ryugi in max mode. A lot of times you might see Ryugi's going to initiative heat or blood heat here, but he just doesn't. There we go. There's the initiative heat. Usually gonna push himself out and then maintain his plus frames, but doesn't get too much out of it. Miyako does get out of the corner successfully. Kind of hitting with some staggered buttons, throwing in with the stomp. Oh, game Sutter, bring him back up. But yeah, it doesn't end up getting counter hit by that JC. Gonna be a lot of damage coming into him. One more hit's gonna do him, even just a throw, and he's probably expecting the throw, so he just kind of does like a meaty button on wake up, and he ends up getting hit by Miyako's meaty. So second round, gonna end up going to Miyako. This is gonna be match point right here. Next one ends up winning the game. Or winning this set. It's going to be updated on challenge. Goes for the knife throw, would be a little bit plus, and he ends up picking the knife up again. Miyako doesn't capitalize on the fact that he's going back to collect the knife. Uses the record pressure to kind of push himself out. Miyako can't do too much to him at that range, but ends up going for a throw, getting attacked, putting him all the way back in the corner, going for the overhead, going for the pullback. Miyako losing a lot of her guard gauge, but she does get back in on the minus frames that Ryugi has there. Going to bring him down. What's he going to go for? Goes for a stomp to knock him down, and goes for some meaty 2As, using elbow, come back in, staggering pressure, goes for the stomp. Ryugi comes out with the 2C, but he ends up getting thrown back into the corner, brought down, taken back up. Is going to use meter on this. Nope, no meter. Yep, yeah, he is going to spend meter. I spoke too soon. 2.7k and going for another stomp. Ends up getting blocked, but it is blocked low. I do believe you need to block that stomp high, or else it is plus. So that ends up being the round for Shizune. So Shizune going to end up taking that. I don't know why they're playing again, because that was 2 games for Shizune. Okay, okay, they said GG's. And now my Melty just straight up won't fucking operate. But yeah, so no, I'm gonna let's do like a 5 minute break or something. I'm gonna try to get this shit fixed before we go into the next games. Like yeah, nothing is loading for me. Fucking like I don't know if I can like show it on the fucking stream, but no, my ISP is totally fucking me over right now. I'll put it in Discord. So like. Okay, so all right, and it looks like we're back. So yeah, I had to basically just go and restart everything, but I should be able to stream at a higher bitrate again. No, nope. It looks like they instantly caught on to me. They figured out my grand plan and realized what I've done. So it fixed my download ping that was like up in the thousands, but they're still pretty unhappy about it, and it looks like they're starting to shoot my ping up again. Yeah, I don't understand what it is. This is German internet. It's absolute dog shit. The worst internet in Europe somehow. It's like worse than a third world country. It's fucking amazing. It's awesome. I don't understand how it's so incompetent. Like, the fucking internet in the US is more consistent than this, and US internet fucking sucks. It's pretty embarrassing, honestly. Not for me. I don't care. But for Germany, it's pretty embarrassing that they can't like do something as simple as internet that doesn't die every 3 seconds. But whatever. I digress. So next next on stream is gonna end up being, let's see if I can actually update shit. Cool, it's letting me update shit. So next on stream is gonna end up being Yun versus Shizune. So I'll do the pings for that. And we'll get going with that in a second. But yeah, no, sorry about the delay. Losers finals will be first to 2. Okay. So yeah, so sorry about that delay and shit, but it's like that's just how things are. Like yesterday, Aika was watching the stream and helping me out with some shit, and it worked fine for like 3 hours. 3 hours straight worked perfectly fine, and then eventually it just said, "Oh, wait a minute, no, you're not allowed to stream anymore," and it fucking did the exact same shit. It wouldn't let me do anything, and it did that for like half an hour to 45 minutes. Aika was working on something, so it's like it's not like he was sitting here, fucking watching a tournament or playing in a tournament. So it's not like I was stopping him from doing anything, but like it's still just like there's literally nothing I can do about it. There's absolutely just that's this German internet. All right, cool. We're in. So Steve's gonna be on player 1 side, and Shizune is gonna be on player 2 side. The bit rate's gonna end up being a bit lower than it was earlier, just because I don't know, I don't want to like overstep and try to get it higher, just to have them realize that, oh no, I'm trying to use the internet I pay for. That's a problem, we can't have that, and then shut me down again. So it's gonna be looking a little fucking like a low res. But I'll after this game, if it goes without any hitches, I'll try to up it a little bit again to get it back to where it was, back when everything was functioning the way it should. But yeah, so we're going to be seeing Steve on the h-wlen again, like usual, and Shizune on his f-miyako. And when the game stops spinning its wheels, we'll get right into that. Alright, cool, they're good to go. Wait. You know, I already said go, so even if it's fast, we're going to go. But yeah, no, it is fast. We are good to go now. It's good. It's good for now, but it will possibly shit itself again. The bit rate's a bit lower, but like I said, I'll try to raise it as we go. So here we go. Steve already putting Shizune in the corner, using the icicles to kind of like play defensively. Like as we saw earlier, Miyako has a really hard time approaching into this character just because of her shorter normals. Even if you do block the icicles, you can't really always punish or get anything substantial off it. So you need to really have a deep, like, not a deep, but like you have to have a good understanding of how the charged icicles work, where they want to use them, and if they're trying to fake you out, and you need to act accordingly to that, and be able to jump out in the right place, or be able to challenge in the right places. So there we go, like right there, where you see he does the charge icicle, that's where you probably want Shizune to try jumping out of the pressure, but he's not recognizing those fast enough, and he ends up just kind of getting stuck in the corner with these really plus charged icicles. He's going in again, yeah, just kind of using the charged icicles, protecting his space with the icicles, with the fallback, getting an air shield out, putting him in the corner, but a lot of this is, yeah, going for the command grab, really long command grab. A lot of this is just pretty standard, like full wlen, just, or not full wlen, half wlen, just kind of going for these pressure strings to try to, there we go, goes for an EX command grab, which is a version that is comboable into. Doesn't get a ton of damage off it though. I thought that might kill, but it obviously doesn't get that much damage off it. Kind of what h-wlen wants to do. Kind of put you in the corner, and then not really go in over and over again. Maybe do a pressure string to catch some stagger and go for a command throw, but if she's not going to go for that, at that point, it's just kind of pull back, play this cage game, which doesn't let you out of the corner. Fortunately, though, he gets brought all the way to the other side. Goes for a DP, he comes over the top, and all of that work that, oh, I thought Steve was going to die right there. I don't know if that's because he dropped or what, but it definitely looked like Steve should have been dead. So, oh, that's a good read. He sees him jump in the air, and he uses a move with invul to go through the icicle, so whether it's a single hit or a multi-hit, he's going to end up going through, hitting him out of the air. So, excellent hit from Shizune. That round going to end up going to Shizune. Ends up getting that blocked in the air. Second hit is air blockable. I believe it's the first hit that is air unblockable on that. But yeah, as you see, like, that's kind of why it's, like, it's kind of, you want to try to keep Miyako in the corner and keep her there with like some cage game where you don't let her out, but you don't really reset her either because she's dangerous to reset. But the downside is that if you fail in that game and you end up not resetting back to neutral, you end up resetting to an area where Miyako has you in the corner, you can possibly lose everything you just worked for. Ends up bursting out, so Miyako uses some meter to kind of DP out, but it's kind of fruitless as he was in heat. Putting him in the corner, doing that basic stagger, going for the single hit icicles, coming out for a dash out, gets hit by a second icicle, but now we have Miyako on the other side of him, misses his DP, and he's going to get a big punish right here. It feels like a lot of times when Steve finally loses the corner and gets pulled out by Miyako, the first thing he defaults to is DP, and it looks like Miyako's kind of starting to see that, and he's gotten, like, I think punishes on almost all of Steve's DPs these games. Coming back down, getting with a button, is that going to be enough to kill though? Bringing him up, taking him with some buttons, no, he ends up missing though. Probably could have gone for air throw right there in the end, but I'm not really sure about that. He does still have access to command grab, which is the longest in the game, but he isn't able to get it. Goes up for an icicle, which is going to frame trap Shizune, probably trying to jump out, not expecting if it's going to be a multi-hit or not. And with levels that low, he probably just kind of went for a gamble on whether it's going to be single or multi. Ended up being single, and then ended up catching it out. First round, next round, immediately getting brought into the corner by Miyako. Ends up trading, but Miyako comes out on top of the trade, getting a hard knockdown. Respecting the DP, though, ends up getting command grabbed and then left-righted with the Len teleport. You can tell that Shizune probably doesn't have a ton of experience with this matchup because these are some things that you definitely don't see a lot out of white Lens. Not because they're necessarily, like... how do I put this? Not because they're necessarily like useless tools, but just because they're tools that you kind of have to let Len get away with to use. So you can tell that Steve's kind of realizing that Shizune isn't completely familiar with the matchup, and he's really, oh crap, I put the score 1 on Steve, it was score 1 for Shizune. No, it was score 1 for Steve, I'm big stupid. So, and you can tell he's definitely kind of like running away with that, and he's really taking advantage of the fact that he doesn't really know all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? All of the nullish checks in this matchup. Bringing him all the way over to the corner, but he does have that health disadvantage, so it looks like Shizune is probably pretty content to block for a while, maybe try to find a way to force himself out. Ends up blocking and dashing through, but he ends up getting hit by the second icicle, getting put back into the corner, goes for a throw. He is going to get a combo off this throw. Len, another one of those characters that gets really good damage off of throws, though she has to spend more meter on it than Miyako does. Miyako DPing through, but he's just too far away. Not able to punish the DP, though. Goes for a command grab, puts him down. Miyako's so low that even just a throw might beat him out. With those multi-hit icicles bringing his health down just low enough that any throw is probably going to kill him with the chip. Yeah, and it looks like that was Steve was kind of going for. He's kind of looking to lower his health with the icicles to kind of bring the health low enough that just one command grab could kill him and then beat him out with the chip. So second game gonna end up going to Steve, and that's gonna be Steve going to grand finals against Nana, it looks like. I'm gonna increase the bitrate out of 3,000. We're gonna see if things start shitting itself, and if that game goes fine, then I'll upgrade it back to 4,000 where it was before, where things were looking a lot better. So there we go. We're gonna be seeing Nana and Steve again, this time in grand finals rather than in the winners finals. So Yun plus Steve versus Nana. 0, and this is going to be grand finals. So yeah, okay, cool. And they already have it pinged, it looks like. I'll still do the call out anyway. Versus on stream. And yeah, they're probably already aware, but I'm still going to do it just because. And the grand finals are going to be first to 3 the same way winners finals was. From what I was hearing from some other people like Padu, they said that they even do in a lot of tournaments losers finals, they do first to 3 instead of first to 2, where I'm just doing winners finals first to 3 and grand finals first to 3. But a lot of people have been saying even in losers finals they do first to 3. So I don't know if that's better or worse, but if anyone thinks that's better or worse, you should, like you play in the tournament and you think that one is better than the other, you should let me know so that I kind of have some kind of feedback to work with on that. And let's see here. Okay, yeah, the stream is not happy about the fact that I went to 3,000. So we're going to be dropping back down to 2,000. It's so funny that I have to like fucking... Okay, they're good to go. Alright, they're good to go. Losers finals first to 3 is pretty common. Alright, maybe I'll start doing that in the future then more. Yeah, okay, so I decreased the bitrate again, and it looks like it's running a little bit smoother. Alright, here we go. So we have the matchup we saw earlier, where it was Steve versus Nana, the h-wlen versus, or yeah, the h-wlen versus the h-len. Both characters kind of similar movesets, but they play a bit differently. h-len is able to be probably a little bit more aggressive in her pressures in general because of her air buttons and the fact that, well, all characters on H and C Moon can air dash, cancel out of their buttons. But she just has the ability to be a little bit more aggressive because of just the angle of her buttons and the fact that they multi-hit and not using IDs. She can do a lot more with respect than h-wlen can, it feels like, but at the same time her cage game probably isn't quite as strong because she doesn't get as much from the respect that h-wlen does as far as plus frames go. However, with the respect she does get, she gets to run these really annoying kind of floaty above your head high-lows. So you could argue that it's actually stronger than h-wlen when you have respect. Either way, characters have similar kind of movesets, but they are able to use them in completely different ways that like really change the matchup. Going in for the arc drive, and he ends up getting him hit. He doesn't have the confirm out of it though. Nana coming back down, hitting him on the other side with his like multi-hitting balls. Getting with the icicle on the way in, and he is able to confirm off it, but he's not able to get a kill off it. Coming in real high, deep dash in, gets counter hit by the anti-air orb, but Steve not able to go down just yet. One more hit's probably going to do him, so he's playing kind of defensively. We have 20 seconds left, but not enough time. Nana comes in with a icicle, stabs him right in the head, knocks him down, so first round going to end up going to Nana. Steve already putting Nana in the corner on this first round. Gonna take him back down, multi-hit Ice Cold to give him that big frame advantage. Throwing him up, gonna get a combo off the throw, probably 2.4k damage, 2.3k damage. Gets him with an overhead meaty and then a low, but he's not able to actually confirm off a counter, not counter hit. Command grabs him, gets the plus frames, two amounts of plus frames from the Ice Cold, just kind of chipping down at his real health. Bringing him back up, taking him back down. Both characters counter hit each other, and they end up swapping sides, both forward teching, with Steve being put in the corner. Steve finds his way out of the corner, though. He is about to go into heat, though, so he is gonna be able to utilize a lot more risky options pretty soon. Like that DP right there, what I imagine is a DP. Totally fine to use that because he's just going to be coming right out. If he does get punished for it, he's going to go right into heat. Ends up taking on up, taking him out. Second round, going to end up going to Steve. So we're getting a pretty even game right here. Steve going up, going for a read on an air throw, but Nana still remembering those games from earlier, and he says, no, I'm not going to get air thrown by you again. Nana's made the adjustments from that last game, and he's kept those adjustments. He hasn't just forgotten them and decided, all right, we're going to go back to playing again. He remembers the adjustments he made, and he's keeping those adjustments, whereas Steve hasn't quite adjusted to the fact that Nani has made those adjustments, and he is doing things like missing those air throws. Getting brought up and taken back down after the Neko Meaty. Let's see what's he going to do. Another Neko Meaty. Looks like his wake up is just slow enough that the Neko Meaty isn't hitting overhead if Nana throws it immediately, but he is able to get the actual Rising Meaty, and that is Projectile Oki, which gives him a lot of freedom to avoid just DPs almost entirely right there, because even if you DP, it covers you. Going in for the double 2C, I believe, to, kind of capitalize on maybe some delay mash, ends up coming out successfully and getting him. The Projectile Oki from the Neko Rocket is really, really nice. Projectile Oki in general is quite a privilege and just something that's really, really strong to have because it opens up a lot of options for you because you're allowed to very, safely and matter-of-factly start pressure. Because you don't have to worry about, the wake-up options. You have a projectile to kind of police that first hit for you. Coming in, though, with Nana having a bit of a hard time, already being put in the corner, Steve not taking any hits, and he's going into heat right now. Gonna hit him with the sweep, come back down, Nana goes for his own sweep, but misses, shields the Ice Cold, but he has to back out, because Steve does have the ability to retaliate off of that, and he ends up getting with an Arc Drive finish. Perfect coming out. So, first round, gonna end up going to Steve on the h-wlen. Steve coming in this time, doesn't go for an air throw, goes for a button, but Nana ready for it, and he just anti-airs him, knocks him right out of the sky, brings him back down. Steve comes over the top, overshoots though, and Nana able to punish it, bring him all the way back down, 4k damage, super jumping in, then going for a mid, but Steve ends up DPing right out, going for a pressure reset right there, getting him with a Ice Cold, but he's not able to get too much off it. Nana looks like taking that hit kind of on purpose to maybe just get a free air tech out to pull out, going for these kind of fuzzies, jumps up, jumps down, goes for a shield, but he ends up missing it. Nana unable to focus, unable to punish with shield this time like he was in the very last round where he ended up beating Steve in the semifinals. Steve though getting the plus Ice Cold down, putting another plus Ice Cold down, but Nana jumping over. It looks like they keep trading it. It seems like every time he puts that second plus Ice Cold down, Nana realizes it and he tries to kind of TK a sharp Ice Cold over to kind of hit him, but they always trade. So maybe he needs to find a better answer for that, or maybe he's totally content trading, especially if they have similar health values, because he might get more out of it than Steve is getting out of the trade in that area. Right now, Nana, there we go. I was about to say, Nana playing a lot more defensively, not really feeling like he needs to go in because he does have the health advantage, and any one hit is going to finish him off. So he just kind of puts the ground cat, puts the rocket Neko, and it gives him kind of a free approach, especially if Steve tries to come in. He's going to be approaching into really, really dangerous situation. Goes for the Ice Colds, which do end up getting him trying to take out of the corner, and they are air unblockable, so it is able to kind of bring him back down, maybe try to set up a ground tech situation, but he doesn't really punish it to its fullest extent, and Nana ends up throwing him into the corner, bringing him up, gonna end up taking him back down. What's he gonna get off of this? An OTG, IAD over, probably, what was that, a command grab on wake up reversal? What are you doing, fool? What are you doing mashing command grab on wake up? That's it, I'm taking you all the way back down, 2.1k damage, getting a plus size pull out, doing some basic staggers, flipping over. That's obviously not overhead now, but now, yeah, look at this, I've got my own arc drive, does the same thing as yours. Look at all these plus frames, goes in, maybe tries to look like he was baiting a throw there by landing, doing a bit of a walk forward, then jumping again, but it looks like Steve doesn't take the bait. Does take the bait here, though. Ends up getting hit by the Neko Rocket on the way. I'm not really sure what he was trying to get out of it, but Nana uses a defensive bunker to keep him in the corner. Steve using these X-Bolts to kind of protect his space. He's about to go into heat, so it looks like what Steve wants right now. No, he blows the meter. I was about to say, it looks like what Steve wants right now is to kind of try to go into heat, because he was only 30 meter away from heat, so any kind of block string or any kind of hit in general probably would have put him into heat very, very soon. But he ended up using the meter on those, losing all potential to get about 50% of his health back, so a bit of a questionable decision, but at the same time he probably had something in mind there, and had it gone through properly it might have taken the game for him. So a gamble, and it didn't end up paying off. Nana has him in the corner though, ends up completely avoiding the DP, but he's not able to get too much off it, and Steve jumping backwards and throwing out these Ice Coals to really protect space, and Nana trying to kind of fight with his own Ice Coals. They don't really hit though, but at the same time you could argue that Nana was doing that on purpose, not really caring if they hit, because it allows him to kind of meter manage. If he hadn't done that, he would have gone into heat right here, and you could argue that Nana really doesn't want to go into heat, because he wants to try to save it for a more dire situation later, and because if he'd gone into heat right there and taken that crit that he got hit from earlier, he would have no meter to bunker out right there. So, obviously, the meter management that Nana threw off earlier ended up paying out for him. Getting with the Neko, this time actually landed with the overhead. He delayed it just enough to get a meaty overhead out of Neko Rocket, and he's just doing some basic stagger pressure. 2C, 2C into, I believe that's a command normal. It can cancel out of 2C, and it ends up catching Steve. First round, gonna end up going to Nana. This could be match point right here, since it is first to 3. If Nana ends up winning this whole tournament will end up going to Nana. So, Steve, kind of, he's gonna have to make a pretty big comeback to get out of this, and it's not looking too good for him. Already being brought over into the corner, jumping up, missing his command grab, and Nana's just jumping right over, going for a fuzzy. He ends up getting shielded, but he's in heat, so it doesn't matter. Getting brought down, DPs, and bring him out of the corner, bring him all the way to the other corner. This is all off of a DP, 3.8k, gonna bring him over to the other side. The Icicle coming up, but there we go. Nana ends up going for that TK Icicle that he's been going for earlier, and it actually doesn't trade this time. It gets out successfully, so it's obviously something he's lab, obviously something he knows how to deal with. Gets Steve trying to jump out, and the next hit's probably gonna kill him. What's he gonna go for? Overhead Neko ends up getting it, and he throws him in between the Neko, hitting him with the overhead and going up. Really well played by Nana. It catches him out. That's the last hit he needs, and tournament gonna end up going to Nana right there. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting him to go for the overhead cat and then come in for a throw. I thought he was gonna, you know, throw the cat and then go for the kind of meaty jumping around, what's it called, like the fuzzies he was doing a lot of the game. But no, that's the first time I've seen him throw the cat and then go for a throw. So he did a pretty good job of, throughout all the games he played with Steve, conditioning him to feel like I'm gonna be playing in a certain way during my pressure, just for the right last minute when it really matters to kind of sneak in and go, oh, I'm not gonna do it the same this way anymore, kid. Beat it. Throws him right out. So really good showing out of both players. But at the end of the day, the tourney is gonna end up going to Nana on the h-len. Oh yeah, report scores. So I feel like Challenge should have a place where it says I can end the tournament now, because that's the end of the tournament. Yeah, there it is. So let's see, what do we got going on now? What do we got going on now? So let's see if OBS Classic kind of been acting shitty, and because of my ISP, well, you know. But let's get the scores up. Let's see. So we have, get rid of this scoreboard, and then we have like placements. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Tourney placements, and then in first place it looks like we had Nana. In second place we had Steve. I gotta use caps in this. And in third place we had Shizune. Fourth place Doric. And then in fifth place we had Allan. Actually, let's not do fifth place because there's like a bunch of fifth place. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and 4. But Allan and Koval end up sharing fourth place. So there we go. There's the final scores up. Commentary pleasant. I think so. I appreciate that. I was trying to be a little more lax this time because I tend to get like really hyped up and start yelling and talking really fast. I'm sure I still talked really fast, but I'm trying to experiment with starting off slower and then ramping up. And then because there was a lot less people this time than last time, I was trying to kind of stay a bit more mellow all the way through and maybe ramp up to accentuate in other places. But, you know, it's a grindable skill, just like anything else, commentary. So, I'm working on it. But, yeah, I should see if Nana wants to do voice chat to do interviews. Let me see. So, Nana... We'll see if Nana wants to get the interview. Nah. Alright, Nana says he's not looking for an interview, but we can always get the runner-up. We can see if Steve wants to do an interview. And if Steve says nah, then alright, so Steve will hop in on voice chat, so cool. Looks like we'll get Steve on VC1.
I have never really done this kind of thing before.
Nah, no problem. So, I just realized I've been saying he and all that stuff, but I probably should have been saying she, huh?
I go by he, him.
Oh, you do he him. Okay, okay.
Yes,
My
yes.
apologies for being presumptuous then just by hearing your voice. I've been like duped by CC and Elnick in the past, being like, oh, I'm a chick by the way, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'll make a better effort. But if it's he him, cool.
Yeah, it's
Um,
him.
okay, so second place, not bad at all, especially against Nana. He's pretty scary. I thought he was gonna end up playing Nero. So, but you've been
I
playing
know.
Melty
I
for.
knew he was gonna play then.
Okay, okay. So like, how do you
Uh,
feel the like h-wlen matchup versus the h-len matchup is? Because I feel like
uh,
Whiteland's more defensive of the two.
it's a bit exhausting. I can say that much.
Hmm.
I don't really like the h-len matchup, but then again, I don't like a lot of matchups in the game. So.
Yeah, yeah, understandable.
But yeah, it's a bit of an exhausting matchup for me.
Hmm.
But I actually did okay this time, and I'm like, even though I had a bit of frustrations, namely the arc drive moment.
Yeah, yeah, where he just catwalked on. Man, that was pretty. I
Oh
forgot. I
god,
completely
who
forgot
thought it was a good idea to put this move into the game like that?
I forgot h-len could catwalk. I only thought f-len could do that because Speedy's always playing f-len,
really?
and
Oh yeah,
I only thought f-len
Speedy
could do
uses
it
it a lot.
because Speedy uses it a lot,
No,
and he
no,
only plays f. So I just didn't even know.
all of them can use it.
Interesting.
I can
Interesting.
also, Whiteling can also turn into a cat, but it's not that good for her.
Yeah, it's because it's not done by just holding three. It's like you have to like actually do an input for it, right?
Yeah, it's 2-2D,
I see, I see.
and you can't move after that.
Oh,
You're
so
basically on the spot.
okay, so yeah, so it's like for what the fuck's that even avoid?
It low profiles moves like Aoko's fully charged beam.
Okay, okay. So I guess it's good for that. I think can't Whiteland just run under that though? Because I think she can low profile like orbs just by running forward.
I've actually tried something like that before, and it seemed to have worked a few times, which was
Hmm.
namely when I come and grab through it, like with the dash up. But
Okay.
then I tried to just run through it and it didn't work. Then I tried to do the dash up grab again and it didn't work.
I see. It might be because with Aoko's charge laser, she can fire off those two smaller ones, and if one of those clips your legs while you're running, even if you avoid the big one probably still eats up your fucking
Yeah,
hurtbox. Yeah.
I should try around. I should try around with the round thing, but I don't think it works.
Hmm. But yeah, no. He's scary to play against, man. I definitely thought he was gonna play
Yeah.
Nero, but it felt like you did really well. I mean, you did really well on both, but the really close game in like the semifinals, it felt like after at a certain point in the semifinals, Nana kind of made this adjustment, and it kind of felt like from there, you couldn't really get uh like a pin on him because you guys were trading a lot at the start, and then it kind of like flipped the switch where he kind of baited a couple of your air throws, and he started playing a bit differently. And from there, it kind of felt like you were having a bit of a hard time like getting like like getting a beat on him. So like, is there anything you started doing like differently around that point, like in the grand finals? Is there anything you were trying to do differently than you did in semis when you played against him?
I tried not to do RDP as much,
I see. I see.
which
Yeah,
is
he did
something
punch
I
that.
sometimes autopilot into, which is always a bit of a problem. And the thing is, a lot of like little tricks I like to use don't really work against Len that well,
Hmm.
mainly because she has the J2C,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That move.
and it it's really just not an easy matchup. And
Hmm.
I always struggle a bit air to air
Hmm.
as H Whiteland. And my best air to air tool are literally the icicles.
Yeah, and then she's got the same one, but hers come out like a bit faster, and she retains her like momentum. So it's like, oh fuck, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can
And
see
she
how that would
has
be.
and she has the better normals. It's like air
Yeah,
to air in that matchup is
so it's,
hell.
yeah, it's definitely hard. It definitely feels like if you get ahead and you can like properly like keep her out, it's not too bad. But the second you lose the health advantage, it's like, oh fuck, you can play defense just as well as I can, but I don't move like you.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
The thing is also that I think Nana is just on a much higher level than I am.
Possibly, yeah, yeah. Nana's he's
I
pretty
mean,
damn
he
good.
also played longer as well.
He's
So.
he's been around for a while, yeah. Sometimes I'll like play against people like Aka and Multi, and it's like I've been playing this game for like a year and a half. Why can I still only take like 3 games off of you guys? And it's like at the same time they've probably been playing for like 5 years, and like if
Yeah.
you've been playing for like one or two, like you wouldn't expect like a second grader to be able to do fifth grade math. And it's the same with like fighting games. Like you can't expect that someone who's only been playing for like 2 years is gonna play against someone who's been playing for like maybe 5 years. So it's definitely hard. But I feel like you played pretty well against him. So it shouldn't.
Thank you.
You don't be too hard on yourself. He's not a fucking easy person to beat.
I am very good at beating myself up.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Fucking Nana's hard to beat. He's a good player, so don't beat yourself up over it. It's not like you lost to low tier jobber in fucking random Strive lobby, and it's like, oh, okay, dude. It's like he's good.
Oh, when that kind of stuff happens, when you join someone that says like, yeah, I'm a beginner, and then he completely destroys you.
Yeah, it's like, well, I play other fighting games, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's up for about like 7 years. Like, okay, dude, like.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I get the feeling. So, is there anything you wanted to comment on, or anything you wanted to say, since you're here?
Something I watched. I watched one of the commentaries earlier, which was my first match against. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't know what to say. No, Shizune. I'm
Okay.
sorry. My first match against Shizune. Yes, my EX icicle has a bit of invul, but it's the stupidest thing because it's only invincible during the super flash.
Oh, where everything's frozen and it's like irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you see like the start up during the super flash, you know you're gonna get hit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's one of those where it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a pain. I've gotten hit so much just because of that, and yeah, in that moment I did think I would get the hit off, but yeah, it didn't work out for me.
Unfortunate. Oh,
But I still
man.
won.
Rough
I
move.
still won that one.
But yeah, no, that's oh man, yeah, that's hard. So how do you? So can you throw the icicles? Because you say it's only invul in the start, but then is it immediately active? Like, can you use it as a reversal, or can a lot of people just like throw it, or if they're already meatying, you're dead?
Throw and meaty both beat it.
I see. Okay.
Its best tool is to anti-air with it.
Because it's air unblockable, yeah.
Yes, you can shield it in the air, but the timing is like really, really tight on the shielding.
Mm-hmm. Because does it multi-hit as well? Because I think I saw Nana
Yes,
shield
it's
it
multi-hit.
once, and then he immediately got hit.
Yeah, I think he just got like he was like on the edge of the hitbox, and that's why.
I see.
That was a really awkward moment because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I don't think shield counter can beat it.
Probably not. I mean, he might be able to use the invul to not get hit the second time, but it's probably far enough away that he can't hit you, I imagine.
No, it's also it's a bunch of hits. It's not just 2 hits. That's the thing.
I see.
That's why it's so hard to block.
Interesting.
So hard to shield. I mean. Whoops.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and the best way, actually, this is like matchup advice for the people listening. If anyone's listening to this, if I use it as an anti-air move, you can stall time by just air dodging a C and H moon.
Oh, really now?
Yeah, it's actually one of the best ways probably to dodge it.
Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind if I ever don't play f-moons.
I always like to give MU advice against my character, and like I'm prepared to lose the next time I play against.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, you gotta give people advice so that they get stronger, so that you can get stronger. Like if you're like trying to withhold information so people can't beat you, it's like, yeah, all right, that might work for a while, but then Multi comes and kicks your ass, and it's like, oh
my god,
I'm not really in a place where I could, because I mean, then you kind of feel like a clown if you do that, right? Like you don't want to withhold information so you can win. Just have a better player come beat your ass anyway. It's like, what are you withholding information for if you can't even beat him anyway?
I like to sometimes joke about like, okay, so this is an information that I don't want people to know, which is like something I did with Austin earlier, because basically, another thing, my DP can actually be low profiled.
Oh, can it now with like Arc 2B or something, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Oh fuck.
Because he was basically like talking about, I don't get the safe jump timing for her, and I was like,
well, you don't need it. You're Arcroid. Just do meaty 2B. It's like, you have Rebeat. That's not even bad.
It's such a pain when that happens. Like, I once had like a moment, because basically I can do a setup where I do fake DP into DP. And I once managed to do that. I pull it off with the right timing and everything, and then I get 2 beat.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The one time you finally...
That hurt.
The one time you finally get your shit going, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah. No, I guess you could just do that. Alright, that's cool.
Actually, during the Nana MU, I was like, really, really scared of like ever DPing while I was on the ground.
Oh,
like when we were both on the ground, because I know of White, I know of Len, and I know she can low profile it no problem.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
That was so scary, honestly. Like every time, the thing is, I also misinputted my DP a few times, and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
I think I saw that, yeah, because there were a few times where you did get hit, and I was like, what was it? Were they like trying to like jump out? And that wasn't a counter hit, huh? But okay, that makes sense. No, I do that a lot with Oko. I miss my shit.
With the fuzzy, I have a bit of a problem. Like the thing is, I don't even have a DP input.
Yeah.
So it's always, yeah, my input is 214 actually.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's all right, but even then, there's no buffer window, so it's like. You can't just spam 2 a like Arcroids can and then just like go either way and it's like, oh, mix ups. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really a problem against fuzzies.
No, I imagine, yeah.
Because I can't input fast enough for it.
I 100% feel that. I can't tell you how many times I've seen something and I'm like, I know I need to do an input here, and I start doing the input and then I just get hit on like the forward motion part of it and I'm like, oh my fucking god, dude.
It's like, no way that just happened. Oh god, yeah, that's also why Len is a bit hard for me, because it's like when people pressure me like from the air, I really feel the need to DP them.
Is your DP air blockable?
It's air unblockable, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All versions, A, B, and C are all air unblockable.
Okay. But I imagine, yeah, if they like just do a neutral jump and it misses, it's like, oh fuck.
That's the thing with the I like to sometimes compare like C's and H DPs, because while C white lens is better on wake up, H can use hers during neutral and even during pressure.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah, I like to just use it to anti-air people, and
I mean, yeah, if it's air unblockable, might as well. Yeah.
I sometimes feel like it causes a bit of mental damage, so. That's another way to see it.
Yeah, it can be hard to approach Len because, and then you got that fucking command grab, so it's like even then you think like, okay, what I'll do is I'll like delay and then I'll go for like a throw or something, because if they respect the 4 frames of like wake up protection, they're not gonna react to that, and then you just wake up command grab and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't even like break the throw doing like a throw if you're trying to wake up mash. Like, are you fucking really?
You have seen me during the tourneys. You know I don't respect wake up.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I've seen it.
I shall never respect. I mean, it's gotten me killed a fair share of
someone's
times
gonna someone's gonna have a safe jump eventually that's gonna make you go, oh fuck, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm okay at seeing when someone fails a safe jump. So that is something. But there are like ways to do it. One of the ways is actually to just not engage in the Oki.
Yeah.
And then just wait a moment and do anything else. That's what Shora does against me, as example, Shorakin.
Oh, I see.
He likes to just step back and then either hit me with the big punch, or the 60 it was, I think?
Yeah.
The downward slash reuse.
I think that's what that is, yeah. I'm not too versed on reuse.
Usually hits me with one of those. There are ways for me to get out of there then as well, but yeah, it's scary. And I like it when people like find different ways to deal with my wake up options.
And it's smart to deal with Reese anyway, because she's so good at like caging people in with her normals that at a certain point it's like, all right, if you're not going to respect my shit and I don't have like a way to counterplay it that's not just respecting, I'm just gonna fucking, yeah, all right, okay, yeah, wake up over there. I don't care. I'm just gonna not let you leave the corner. Fuck you.
Fuck you, exactly. And then just punch. I should really play against Shura more again. I like the Ryusu, even if it can be a bit frustrating, mainly due to the bunker.
Yeah.
But bunker very easily loses to my grab. It's funny.
Well, right on. Cool.
I actually didn't comment grab as much as I wanted to this tourney.
I saw you try a few times and I got jumped a lot, and I kind of thought that you stopped doing it after a while because you're like, all right, Nana's jumping a lot, not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, against Nana, I was like really sure I wouldn't hit most of them. But even against the others, like, I'm so sorry, Shizune. I'm so sorry, Shizune. I keep on having a different name in my head.
It's not a problem.
even against Shizune, I wanted to grab a bit more, especially on Wake Up. I really wanted to like come and grab on Wake Up. I'm really sad I didn't most of the time.
But that's fucked up to do that against Miyako because you get hit once and that's like a third of your health. So it's like.
I mean that is very much true, but I kind of figured he would continue blocking.
Nah.
Yeah, I saw him like there was also from when I saw him play against Allan. I saw him really respecting the DPs.
Oh, I see. So you're like, all right, he'll
That's
respect
also
my
why I
DP
at some
on
point
grab.
just smashed 5A on Wake Up.
I see. Yeah,
because
yeah.
I figured he would just,
Yeah, Blitzer does that a lot on Nanaya. He'll just DP 3 times in a row, and it's like, okay, fuck off. I'm just gonna block, and then he mashes 2A, and it's like, no, I'm in Nanaya pressure. Oh my god.
I at first I thought you would mention like his Wildland. I was like, oh, we're having this kind of moment again. I still appreciate the grappler moment to this day. Especially because it was specifically directed towards my character.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you fucking grapplers do. You fucking...
I mean, I can't deny it. I can't deny it. I mean, with h-wlen, it's even better. You just do literally any normal into common grab.
Yeah, and it's like so far away. Yeah, I'll respect this. I'll respect the fucking... What's it called? Like, you know, I'll respect your median, it'll push her out, and then I don't really have to worry about the threat of throw. But with Whiteland, it's like, okay, well, you push out, you're out of A range, and you're still throwing me. This is... Well, yeah. Okay.
Something I actually really like to do, I don't think I did it as much, but I like to do a little mind game with my 5A, 6A, 6A.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I just do 5A, 6A, and then I either delay the last 6A, or I go for a common grab.
Because your fucking 6AAs aren't plus like H-arcs are, so you can kind of like get away with that a lot better. With the minus frames working a lot more for you.
It's so bullshit, and I love it. Like, the thing is really, if I delay it, it's a frame trap and it catches jump outs.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, fuck. So I guess how do you do... I guess you probably just sweep at that point if your A buttons aren't going to reach. Or you have to have a read and, like, you a 2B, maybe.
Yeah.
Because even shielding's not going to beat that.
It's really, really stupid mix-up that often works in my favor.
Well, I guess that's...
Then when... the thing is, sometimes I end up like getting like the distance wrong or grab too early, and then I riff, and it's like, oh
yeah, then they're just gonna hit you, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I think I recall Ofan at one point saying, maybe it was as a joke, but he's like, man, fucking h-wlen is like the best grappler in the game. So I mean, I guess when you have ranges like that, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, I can only really compare to Koma, I guess, since he's like the other big grappler.
Yeah, I mean, he does more damage off of his command grabs, but I think the other big grappler is f-miyako.
This isn't Wolfo!
Yeah, but I mean, it also
doesn't... The X-command grab has a Wolfo!
Yeah, but it doesn't reach as far as yours, so like... Well,
yeah, that is true. But it has fucked me over so much. C, MU is also like a bit of a painful one for me. The grabs. Oh, the grabs bring my pressure.
Oh yeah, dude. If my mentality when I'm fighting Coma players is if they have meter and they can do a command grab, they will do a command grab. So I'll just like literally like run up and then just meaty neutral jump, and if they don't command grab, I'll backdash away or some shit, because it's like I'm not about to take a third of my health off a dumb fucking grab or some shit.
I should start doing that as well.
I mean, because if they're dumb, they won't learn, and they'll just keep doing it, and you'll get punishes, but eventually they'll start adapting, and then you can be like, alright, they're not gonna do it, I'll meaty, and then they'll do it anyway, and it'll be like, oh, okay.
It's Koma. It's like, if he can grab, he will.
Yeah, and then even when you think you've got him respecting, they still do it, and it's like, I'll just guess better next time, idiot.
Exactly. I had like once an argument with a Koma player about who's the better grappler.
Oh, Whiteland
and I was like, we are even!
I think the best grappler is Miyako, because she forces, like...
Oh yeah, she is.
She's probably the best grappler, because once you start trying to deal with her grabs, all that does is open you up to her fucking, like NTRs, and then after that, it's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll take 5k damage now, that's cool, maybe I'll just take the throw. And then you can take the throw and take 3k, and it's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, Miyako is a really cool character, not gonna lie. Like, she can be a bit of frustrating to play against, especially with her pressure and her huge damage output. But she was actually one of the first characters I decided to play against. Because the person who introduced me to Melty, or one of the people that introduced me to Melty, tried to play her, and then I played against Vilka a lot.
Yeah, her neutral fucking sucks. Fuck Miyako.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think in neutral I have like a huge advantage against Miyako.
She can't do much against your icicles. Like I remember Blitzer told me once, yeah, block lens icicle and then sweep your f-tohno. You can do that, but I don't think Miyako can do that. So sucks to be her.
The thing is, because Miyako goes so much for like her active aerials, it's like I'm just as active and throw an icicle. Seriously, my icicles are active for so long, it's really stupid. They aren't like as stupid as like Aoko's NE orbs.
Yeah, well, yeah, the NE orbs are they're special.
They are special. They are very special.
Yeah.
But especially in a muse like this, in general, people that like to go for aerials a lot, I kind of have a problem with that in you, I'd say. Unless their name's Len.
Yeah.
But like as example, it's usually against JCs where it works very well. I basically just throw it an icon and they get it countered.
How much damage can you usually get off of those?
Like, I can get 3k, I think.
Okay, so not like a huge amount, but it's also not like nothing to. It's not a huge amount, but it's also I don't want to get hit by that.
Exactly, and because then I get my pressure and everything, so that's also a point. I'd say like I like to recommend to people like you can approach me and get hit, and if it's not a counter, you can literally get away from me.
Oh yeah. It's like how I'll tell people with f-miyako, like if you're having trouble getting out of the fucking like the projectile spam, literally just jump, let the first one hit you, and then forward or back tech. It's like you take like maybe fucking 100 damage, and you're completely free of any of my pressure.
It's exactly the same thing. Like if you tech, you have to deal with my anti-airing and everything, but you can still get away from that easier. It's better than getting hit by the air icicle and getting counter hit.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Makes sense.
That is like a thing that especially newer players often fall to. I notice that they like, especially when it comes to teching, they tech and press a button, and that's how I usually get people. I just make them tech and throw out another air icicle.
Oh yeah, you can just
counter hit combo.
Kill people like that forever, and you don't have the problem of like someone back teching and then doing like a JA and then it hits your fucking meaty button, because some characters can just fucking like back tech and then use back tech's iframes.
I can also do something that can also work. I can actually do a tech trap with the AUB icicle into the EX icicle.
Interesting.
And that gives me a combo, no matter if it's counter or not.
That's true. I imagine you do that in the corner, right? Because even if they back tech out, they can't get out of the range.
It's a very cool thing to do actually in the corner. It's like style points.
It's like f-row as lightning trap, except you probably actually get damage off of it. Huh.
I mean, mine is also cheatable technically, but I don't think it works after a tech trap. So.
Understandable.
Oh god, f-row as lightning thing. I have nightmares of that.
Yeah, it's if you know how to work around it, it's really not that bad. It's kind of a gimmick, because if you neutral tech low enough to the ground, you'll just completely avoid it. Because if you don't tech because if you don't tech at all, it OTGs you, and then it doesn't do shit damage. So who fucking cares at that point? But like you're still stuck in row as pressure. But and if you air tech out, naturally it hits you. But if you neutral tech really, really, really close to the ground, what'll happen is you'll avoid it with the neutral like tech frames, but then maybe it's back tech really close to the ground. I don't remember which. Teru is the one who taught me this, and he did it to me a bunch when he was playing his f-tohno against me. I don't remember if it was neutral or back, but you just do it really close to the ground, and he'll completely avoid the lightning, and then I'm stuck in recovery, and it's a free punish. So Roa's lightning is like, so cool. It's a super gimmick. It's a really good win condition if they have enough health to get killed by it, though, because then in neutral, you're basically like, oh, you want to jump in Melty Blood against, like, oh, okay, let's try that. Like, so it's a really, really powerful win condition if that's all you're going to need to kill them. But other than that, it's kind of a gimmick.
Oh, you want to approach me from the air?
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
Air unblockable all the way in the sky. Yeah, he's got that going for him. That's a really cool move f-row has, but F-Roa, man, fuck F-Roa. That
I
character's so
actually didn't know the
struggling.
trick, so thank you for telling me. I know someone that plays him.
Yeah, you'll have to lab it to like get it to work just right. Cause I don't remember if it's neutral or back. But I saw Terry do that to me, and I'm just like, it doesn't work. And he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, F-Roa fucking sucks. What did you think? And I like brought that up to Melty, and Melty's like, well, why are you using it in the first place? I go, what do you mean? It's really good. It's like it's an air unblockable. He's like, see, that's the problem. He said that's the trap that Aka fell into. That move is a gimmick. Don't use it. And I'm like, okay, I won't use it anymore. He's like, literally, either just go for Oki or damage. That move sucks.
I mean, I'm like someone. I don't think that gimmicks specifically are like something bad. It's just like I play a very gimmicky character, so that's probably why I think that way.
Mm.
But like a huge gimmick of mine is, as example, if I do common grab and then the teleport.
Oh, and it goes behind them, and they if they're not ready for it, it's like,
Yeah.
I saw you do that once. Yeah, I wasn't ready for that either.
You can actually kind of if you micro walk back and then do the teleport, you actually end up in front of them. But it's something I can't really do reliably, so I haven't really done it so far.
Interesting.
But it's always a nice surprise, I'd say.
Huh.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a Japanese player do that. Actually, a bunch of stuff. I started to adapt this from Japanese players because Japanese h-wlen are insane.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It seems like most of the Japanese people who play Len take her a lot farther than most people do. Like her specifically.
And I really just think that h-wlen in the right hands is one of the coolest characters in the game. I mean, I also think that in my hands, I think she's already a really cool character. I mean, that's why I play her.
Yeah, naturally. You wanna be like proud of the character you play. Exactly.
I started to play her when I literally started. Like, she was the first character I ever played. And I dropped her for a while because I had like the mindset of, she's not a very good character, I won't ever get better unless I play a different character.
Nah,
and I'm so glad I got out of that mindset.
I can understand having that mindset because here's the thing about Melty is that Melty's a great game. I love Melty Blood. But I am a firm believer that if you are like, I want to play Melty Blood in tournaments and win, you need to at least have a pocket high tier. Because in a game where Nero, Hime, Roa, Kohaku, Vyaki, fucking like F maids or even I don't think C maids are good, but like F maid. In a game where those fucking characters exist, being like, yeah, I'll win this tournament with f-tohno is fucking stupid. Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you'll win until you run into someone playing a high tier, and then the high tiers are high tier because they invalidate like 70% of the cast. So it's like, on one hand, I can, if somebody was like, I need to learn a second character because I can't fucking win competitively with only this character, it's too fucking hard. But being like, oh, I should play a second character just because it'll make me better, nah. If anything, now don't tell the top tier players this, playing a worse character makes you better because you're not carried by your bullshit.
I mean, you are not wrong about that, I'd say.
There's a lot of people who say things like, man, fuck f-miyako, that character's so easy to play. Or they're like, oh man, f-tohno, he's got easy combos, that character's so easy to play. And it's like, really, you think you lost because f-tohno's easy to play? It's like, you're playing Roa, bro. Like, who do you think is harder to win with? f-tohno or C Roa? Like, let's be real. Like, okay, your character requires more execution, but a monkey can learn to spin a stick. Like, who do you think is harder to win with? Roa or like, me? Let's be real. Not that any character is easy to win with, but yeah.
I have considered learning a sub that's better with some matchups, just because I do want to start playing in tournaments more. Especially now that mentally I'm doing better again. Because I mainly want to play with h-wlen foe because I'm gonna tell you a secret. I have the goal of one day ending up on the wiki page. One day I'll get there.
I think Ofan has said that he thinks h-wlen is really strong just because Ofan looks at characters not in their individual moons. He looks at them as a whole with all their moons, and that's why he says that he thinks h-wlen is a strong character because all of her moons cover the weaknesses of another well enough that if you can play all of h-wlen's moons, he feels like the high tiers are high tiers. Like, that's fucking... Those are hard to play against for most characters, but he feels like her moons allow her to cover most matchups fairly well. Same thing with like Aoko. I personally think that when you look at like Aoko like that, Aoko is crazy strong because her F-Aoko is also really, really strong in the sense that I think she's one of the few characters you could only play and still do fine with because she just has a very even matchup spread. But like, when you contrast that with the fact that she also exists on the same level with Ciel, it's like, oh yeah, oh, this guy is hard to me approach. I'll just switch to Ciel and I won't approach him. Like, fuck you.
I mean, yeah. The thing with me is I actually don't really know about, like, officially how good my MU spread is.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm good against, like, matchups against people who are really reliant on the air normals.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell that much.
Yeah.
Like, something like, what was her name again? Vision. I'm actually pretty good against her because my charged icicles always catch her dive. She's very much likes to go into the air.
Mm-hmm.
And
her ground
Oki
normals
is
suck.
actually not that good against my...
Yeah, her Oki loses your DP. So V-san sucks. V-san fucking sucks. She's got crazy low damage, and then you're like, oh, well, she's a Vortex character, so it should be fine. But her Vortex and her Oki only works against, like, half the cast. So, and it's not even like it works against the higher end half of the cast, and the lower end characters are like, ah, well, they can kind of make... No, all the characters her Oki doesn't work on are the good characters. Like, oh no, I sure hope that it's a really problem when I can't catch the DP of, like, fucking, Koha mech. Oh no, that's a real fucking, or not Koha mech, like Mechasui, like, oh no, Mechasui, I can't catch her DP, like, that's a problem. Like, no, who would give a shit about V-Sion on that? But it's like, who does my, like, Oki not work against? Siroa? F-hime? Aoko?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work against any of the good characters, so it's like, what the fuck do I do with this? But then you're like, so I'll go for damage, but your damage is low even on your damage routes, and they can just ground tech your fucking air throw. So even when you land a hit, you're rolling a 50-50 on whether you're gonna be able to keep your pressure or not. V-Sion fucking sucks.
I never get used to like even if when I try out other characters like in training mode or something, I never get used to having a attackable air throw. It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just not used to it. I play freaking h-len.
Yeah, no, I feel it. It's definitely like it takes a while to get used to. But when people don't know that you can do that, it's like, oh, thank God I get Oki. But the second you play against someone who knows they can tech your air throw, it's like, it's like, I have to go for my Oki. That sucks. And that's the other problem with, like, V-Sion is that, at least on C, H has good damage routes. With C, your fucking Oki, because it just doesn't work on half the cast, doesn't turn into Oki. It turns into a prerequisite for actual damage. Like, that's all it ends up being after a certain point.
I usually play against H.
That's the good one, yeah.
Yes. She's a cool character. I sometimes play her as well. I didn't really lap her or anything, so I don't count her. I played against C not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
C was interesting, I guess.
It's just H, but with worse buttons and, like, worse damage.
And with the weird ranged stringy thing.
Oh yeah, she doesn't have that either, so it's like that. Yeah, C is just objectively worse. Like C-Sion just fucking sucks. I mean, every game's gonna have its shitty characters, and in a game like Melty with, like, what is it, 96 characters if you count all the moons, naturally some characters are going to be very 93. So some characters are obviously going to be very, very obviously worse than the rest. But man, it's disappointing how much Sion sucks.
H-Nekomech.
Yeah, H-Nekomech's a fucking joke, but like, oh fuck.
I remember, like, I don't know who mentioned it to me, but someone mentioned, like, H-Nekomech and how she's really just a joke character, and I was like, she can't be that bad, so I went into training, tried her specials, and I was like, what the fuck is this character?
Oh yeah, no, she's bad. That character fucking sucks.
It was literally, like, I think the artist described it as, oh, it's just a joke character, let's put it on to the H-Moon.
yeah, I agree with that. Fuck H-Moon. H-Moon sucks. No, I'm
H-Moon in general or H-Moon?
Yeah, H-Moon in general. I'm not a fan of H-Moon mechanics. I don't like not being able to EX block. I don't like not being able to hold my shield. I don't like how they're so reliant on loops in a lot of their combos. I don't like the 6 AA series buttons. I don't know. Me and H-Moon characters aren't on the same wavelength, though. Like, I've tried getting into H-Moon characters. Eika's given me a few H-Moon characters to play that I've actually really liked, but I just can't get on the right wavelength to play them.
I like H-Moon, so I can't really say much. Like, one moon I really can't with is F-Moon, sadly.
Yeah, that's the one that I tend to do. No, I'm not gonna say best with, because I understand how to rebeat, and I can switch to Ciaoko on the fly and still do all her shit just fine. But, yeah, F-Moon characters tend to be where I reside, it seems like.
Yeah. I have a problem with, like, not being able to reverse beat, because it's, like, it's what I'm used to. Also, having 5A, 6A, 6A is great.
Yeah, it's really nice on, like, you ever play against Multi's H-Arc? I swear, he just fucking spams 6AA, like, from across the map, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Like, it's fucking not a small button, and it's plus on block. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, unless I'm Aoko, it's like, he just does that. It's like, okay, Multi, you need to fucking settle down, dude.
The only times I played against Multi was when I started out, like, oh god. Basically, two of the people from Melty Card basically like kind of got me to play against Multi when I was still new and couldn't even do air throw ender.
Oh fuck!
It was a pain.
Multi's a good guy though. He'll play the whole first of 10 with you, and then he'll give you advice after. When I first started playing,
he played Nero against me.
Oh, he played Roa against you?
Nero.
Oh, Nero. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Multi was probably like... practicing Nero, so that's not fun.
No, it was really not nice, and he played like every moon against me. And when he played Hate, me being new, I had no clue what the hell the B was.
Oh.
And then I constantly got hit out of my heat, and there was... and then I played against him, like, a while back, and I didn't really do well, and I really felt like shit afterwards.
Nah, Multi's one of the best. I've been playing for a year and a half, and I still only take,
my God, yes.
I take, like, 3 games at the most. I think the most games I've ever... Okay, I've only beaten Multi once in a set, and I don't count it because it was at like 3 a.m., so I'm almost positive he couldn't fucking care less. And he was playing a character, I think he, like, 20th subs, so it probably isn't a good example. So I don't count that, but I think the best I've ever done against Multi was, it was 7-10, his favor, and he was playing H-Arc and I was playing my f-miyako. I think that's the best I've ever done against him. And I've been playing the game for like a year and a half, so it's like, fucking, Multi's good. There's nothing wrong with losing to him. He's insane.
I remember, oh god, once I hosted and he ended up joining me and he played CCL. I played one match and literally left after that and said, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do this.
What? No, you can't leave if Multi joins your IP. Everyone joins Multi's IP because he's good.
I didn't know it was Multi. I didn't know it was Multi. I didn't know it was Multi.
If one of the Demon Lords joins your IP, even if you hate their character, you have to play the first to 10, because if you...
He rejoined me,
Okay, he rejoined. If you refuse the offer of one of the Demon Lords, they're not joining again, and you're like, you're throwing away free games.
It was literally like, I was like, nah, sorry, I really don't want to play this match. And suddenly Multi replies with, oh, okay, I can change character. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Multi was the one that joined me. Oh, that was scary. I think I actually might have won one match against a Sivara. Also, what I meant with the you should count that set. I have like the tendency to not count sets I played, just because, oh, they played their sub. Oh, I just won the first match and they beat me the other ones, which means they just figured me out and then beat me or something. And the others and my mutuals and friends basically told me, dude, stop thinking like that. You're messing yourself over.
I ain't gonna count that set still, because I still ain't gonna count that set, because it was me on my main versus him on like a fucking like a millionth sub, and it was like 3 a.m. And here's the thing, I've never gotten any closer to beating him. Like I know for a fact that at any point in time Multi can scrub me, so I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I've taken a set off Multi, because it's like, okay, yeah, probably when he was like high on like fucking painkillers after like breaking his arm and he wasn't even playing his main character. Like, what the fuck do you... That's like that'd be like someone played against like my fucking f-Scion, a character I like literally never play, and then like, yeah, I've beaten Gibbons in a set, and like, you play my f-Scion, dude, settle down, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember like once I played against a new guy and I played my Sinanaya. I never lap him. I literally just use him as a joke, so I can spam DP and AAD. And he won against me, and he was like, oh, that one was actually close, and I just sat there like, I don't wanna destroy your dreams.
No.
But I mean, icicled soon.
I'm definitely not rude about it. I've had someone do something like that to me once, and I wasn't rude about it. I was like, hey, I just give them the thumbs up, like, hey, I'll keep practicing and getting stronger. Then the next time they played me, they were like, it was actually kind of, I felt kind of bad, because they were just kind of like, what the fuck? Last time we played, I got like 3 games, and this time I got no. It was actually when I was learning f-tohno. It was the first day I ever started playing f-tohno, and they got like 3 games off me. And they were like, yeah, all right, like, I'm doing pretty well. And then the next time they didn't win a single fucking game, and they were all like, oh, what? I've gotten worse. Like, I didn't win a single game, and like, you were just doing like the same things. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not like, you didn't get worse. I don't want to be a dick, but it was literally the first day I played the character. Like, you're doing fine, don't sweat it.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, that thing about like, oh, I've gotten worse. That's like the stupidest thing that comes into one's head.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of sets we don't count, one I almost didn't count. I actually won against Aka once. Like, I won a set.
Oh,
That
Aka's
was
good. Aka's
amazing. I just want to say that felt amazing.
Mhm.
And it turns out apparently he was drunk.
Yeah. It's like
So
when you spend those are always like those always mean a lot. Like I remember the first time I ever took a legitimate like game off of Multi. It wasn't like just like I still haven't beaten him in like a whole set, but like I remember the first time I think he was actually playing Nero back then. I was playing f-miyako, and it was like up to that point I'd never taken a single game off of Multi. It was like I was still trying to beat him. And I took a fucking game off, and I'm just like, and again you could argue well Multi didn't know Nero at the time, but he'd been playing it for a while, and I was like, I just took my first game off Multi. Oh hell yeah! And that's super like super good feeling. The thing that you always need to keep in mind though is that when you progress, you will oftentimes progress past a lot of people who, even if they've been playing for a while, they don't continually try to get better. So you will feel this constant progression, and you will start to surpass people, and you'll feel like getting better is surpassing people. That's what getting better is. So if I stop like beating people more like better and better, like worse and worse, like by larger margins, I'm not getting better. But the other thing you have to like understand is that when you watch like Multi and Sonos play, it's not Sonos wins 10-3 or Multi wins like 10-3. It is like they go even. So you getting better is never going to be you beating Multi. You getting better is going to be like going even. That is probably the best you're ever going to get, is going even with him and like taking like games off him in tourney. So it's like sometimes I kind of feel to myself like, man, I'm not getting any better. Multi beats me 10-1, and now all I'm doing is winning, and now we're just going 10-3. But it's like 10-3 is good. Because, like, eventually going even with him is going to be, like, 8-10. And at that point, I'm not going to say I'm as good as Multi, but it's, like, it's more progress than it seems like and feels like. Because at the end of the day, you're still losing. But it's something that I actually thought about recently, where it can feel like you're not progressing. Because the people who beat you years ago are still beating you, but you're never going to, quote-unquote, like, you're never going to objectively be better than them. You will probably only ever start to go even with them and reach their level. And, like, that's just something to, yeah, like, keep in mind.
I'm like, it's something I do a lot about, like, thinking of that I don't get better or something. That mindset has gotten better at this point, I'd say. But especially, I used to play a lot against Shora and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he usually beat me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or I won the first match and then lost the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really discouraged back then about it. Because I really felt like, yeah, I'm not making progress, I'm just playing like shit and everything. And it needed like really, really long for me to register, even when others kept on telling me that I'm still improving.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't see the progress right away, they are still improving themselves.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm the only one that's improving after all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it can feel kind of, I don't want to say like bad, but like there is this kind of like primal urge that kind of makes you get defensive, I guess. That's kind of hard to suppress, but you also need to understand that like you're not the best, and people are going to start going even with you. Like let's take like Magamo for example. Magamo he plays Hime. When I remember when he first started, and like I would beat him no problem, and now we get to the point where Magamo, he'll take games off of my f-tohno pretty reliably. Like I think the last time we played, it was like 10-5 in my favor, and it's really really easy to be like fucking, I should be doing better than that. Like 2 weeks ago, Magamo couldn't take a fucking game off me. It's really easy to have that kind of primal urge well up, be like, I'm not getting better. Why is he taking games off of me? Like, he sucks.
I mean, you know
but it's like, no, he doesn't suck. He's getting better, and the better you get, the slower your progression is. And if he is a lower level than you, he's going to reach your level faster than you are progressing, and eventually he'll start going even with you. So it's like, when that happens, it's hard to not kind of get a little bit upset about it. But
he can hop into voice chat.
Yeah, if he wants to, yeah, that's cool.
If he can. Okay. So I can't talk. So the funny thing is, when Magamo started out, I think I was like one of the first people they played against. I'm sorry, I said he. I'm sorry. I was one of the first people they played against, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember if they started out with f-ciel, but they quickly surpassed me, I'd say. The thing is also, like, at first I was really sad about it and everything, but after all, they've also played fighting games before that, and Melty is actually my first fighting game, and apart from it, I've only really played Under Night.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I don't really play against Mac as much anymore, especially because I don't really have fun in the Hime MU especially.
The Hime matchup sucks. I'm gonna be honest, it fucking sucks. And like, Magabo's gotten good to the point where, with his Hime, where I don't think I'm gonna keep playing. When I do come back and start playing Melty again, I'm not gonna play fucking Tohno against him. Like, I used to kind of do it because it's like, yeah, alright, whatever, I can still take rounds. But he's gotten good to the point where it's like, alright, if you're gonna play Hime, I'm gonna play Aoko. If you're gonna pick a character that says, I understand there's a finite amount of fun in every round, and I don't want you to have any of it. If you're gonna pick that character, I'm not gonna try to fucking play a fucking fair mid-tier character against you. If you're gonna play that character, I'm gonna play Aoko, and I'm gonna blue fire you, and I'm just gonna run away and throw fireballs, and you did it to yourself.
Why don't play against Hime? I literally have like I'm not even joking. Hime literally made me want to quit the game.
No, I understand. There's Siroa, Nero, Hime. Those characters are fucking. Those characters are like textbook. I know there's a finite amount of fun, and I don't want you to have any of it. Those are fucking dickhead characters. Fuck those characters. I hate the game, not the player. So I'm not gonna say fuck the people who play them, but like, yeah, fuck those characters. Like, playing those characters, you know what you're doing. No, I just thought they were cool. No, you know what you're doing. Shut the fuck up.
Hey,
it's like this moment of, you can play who you want, but I'm not gonna play you.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Koval?
Hello,
Hi.
Gibbons. First of all, I want to say thank you for this tournament. Right now, I am learning this game, and I have really fun playing this game so far. First of all, I was learning f-Aoko. I find her quite fun. Her buttons are so good. And now I'm learning f-tohno, and yeah, I have big troubles like with h-len. Hi, Len. I want to talk with you.
Hi.
But now
I saw the icicle screenshot.
yeah, that was icicles was big trouble for me. But at some moment I've got like, yeah, now I can do this, and I just will play other characters.
Yeah, it's a rough matchup for characters that have like a hard time, who don't have neutral tools that can contest it. Like with Aoko, it's like, yeah, I can throw fireballs, but sometimes you play a character like Tohno or Miyako, and it's like,
If you don't go too much for Jay-Z or something, Flo, that one loses to icicle as well. It's
Try
like
to
if you,
keep track of what I'm actually doing, but sometimes I just mash jump C because I don't have really a lot of matches on f-tohno, like 500s or less even.
it's a good tool. It's a good tool. I think I told you before. It is a very good button and everything. It's just that my icicles disrespect a lot of great aerials. Just because they don't care.
The other thing about like f-tohno's JC is that it's very, very good as a ground air and protecting a lot of aerial space. But it's, as a air to ground, it's kind of shitty. It's good if you are able to hit them on the ground from the tip of it. So if you like do forward jump and then air backdash, hit JC, it's good at spacing at those ranges. But anything that's not kind of on the outside of it, usually you want to use JB because it hits lower and it's like disjoint and it's really active. So learning like on the fly when to use which of those buttons is really key with Tohno.
JB has a disjoint?
It's very small. It's really, really small, almost not noticeable, but it's just big enough that because the button is so active, you can throw it out very early and get a lot out of it.
Oh wow, I actually didn't know.
It's a really small disjoint, but like almost no button has it.
Lumina, where there will be no Hime.
Maybe she might be
yeah.
DLC.
Oh wow, that.
I already have money for it. I already saving money to buy on Steam, on my Nintendo Switch. I want all my friends to play with it.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it yet. We'll see.
I'm definitely gonna get it. 'Cause I'm getting sick of fucking Strive.
I'm still a bit depressed about the fact that, like,
Strife is
when
so
it
weird.
what?
Like, I try to play Strife and I can't understand why everyone likes this game. I really really like Street Fighter, but Strife is just like I don't understand this game. I tried to play it, but something is like wrong.
It's hard to wrap your head around it because it's so much different than Melty. Like in Melty, a lot of times pressure can go on a lot longer, and the structure of pressure is different. The reward for A buttons into chains into B buttons is a lot different. Whereas in Strive, a lot of pressure strings are very short and meant to catch specific options, and if they don't, you either need to spend meter to go back into neutral, or you need to have a tool that you're forcing them to respect to get back in. So it's a lot different. It's a lot hard. It is hard to wrap your head around, but yeah. I mainly just don't like it because it feels fucking like. Why is it harder to DP on Wake Up and Strive than in Melty Blood? Like, Melty Blood doesn't have a fucking buffer window. Why is it harder to do shit on Wake Up and Melty Blood than in Strive? Like, why is it hard to run forward out of block stun in Strive? It blows my mind.
Oh yeah, I remember that Red. I mean, I can't really say much. I have never touched Strive. I wanted to try it via Parsec with a friend of mine, but he hasn't let me so far.
The buffer windows in it are really bad. I think the game could easily benefit from even just a small buffer window. It's so annoying trying to like even capitalize on your own plus frames, because it's like, all right, I'll do a button that's +4, but it puts me like barely out of throw range, so I need to do like a quick dash and then throw. So you do the +4 move, and then you try to do your dash, and you just take like a step forward and then miss your throw. And it's like, dude, just fucking run! Come on! Like, I never have that problem ever in Melty. And then you try to make sure that you don't miss the fucking window to dash, and you just get mashed out because you've lost your plus frames, because you're trying so fucking hard to not miss it. Like, that game's buffer window, it's in like fucking non-existent land. It's got like a negative buffer window, I swear.
Oh, yeah, something I also wanted to mention, since I mentioned the entering with h-wlen earlier. Something I actually did in Journey as well was because the thing is, I have like 3 really good anti-air moves, and that's the icicle, and I mean 4 technically, but the icicles basically, 5C and 5B, and I think I especially mess up people with 5C a lot. Like, people think, oh, it's a normal. I could challenge it with an aerial, and it's like, nah.
Yeah, no, that's hard. You need to
have you seen that hitbox?
You need to have a really good air to ground for it.
Like the only way stuff usually beats it is if I do 5C too late. But like, have you ever seen that hitbox, and have you compared it to f-wlen? It's the
let me think. It's h-wlen you're talking about, right? The h-wlen
and C
5B?
has the same. C is 5C.
5C. Okay. Let me.
And then compare to f-wlen 5C.
Oh man, the wiki's loading really slowly. So yeah, maybe I won't see it. But that's the one where she like kind of spins and puts the orb and arc over her head, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that move is really good. Speedy uses that a lot. It catches jump outs really, really well.
The thing about f-wlen is that they fucked up that for some reason they decided to make the hitbox incredibly small, and like Matrix told me about that. And I looked it up, and I was literally just stunned. Like, look how they massacred my boy.
I imagine it's just because she, being an f-moon character, gets the plus frames and has normals that are better in other areas. They probably wanted to limit her ability to like stop jump outs as easily. Then again, it's a 5C, so that's already a pretty big commitment on an f-moon. Because I was gonna say, like, oh, one thing that like makes like when you look at like Tohno's 6B versus Aoko's 3C, you think like, okay, well those buttons are basically the same at stopping jump outs, but Tohno's is so much more usable universally just in general because it's on a B button, so you can still gatling to your other normals. Whereas Aoko, if you use 3C, you have to use 3C. You're stuck using 3C now. So it makes it a much larger gamble.
That's 6B.
3C.
Dedicated launcher?
I mean, I guess it's a dedicated launcher. Like, it launches people, but
maybe I should consider using it.
I mean, it can launch people, but in combos, it's much better to go for the knee to launch them. The 6B is really good at catching people who jump a lot, and like because it just hits so
with
high.
block string. I was ending my block strings with 2-2A, and I was really scared that everyone just can run and grab me. And
oh yeah,
I think it's bad.
It's also pretty minor. It's also pretty minus from what I'm reading. I'm at the wiki right now.
Yeah, Tohno's 2-2. Tohno's 2-2 series is kind of either a gimmick or like you want to use it really, really sparingly. If you want to end a block string with f-tohno with something safe, It's better to use his 2-3-6, usually his A or his B if you're close and you want to push twice as far out.
Knives?
Yeah, just the knife slashes because they're like only -3 and they push you out to a range where people's A and B buttons usually can't reach you, which means they either have to commit to a C button, which you can usually whiff punish at the range you push out to, and if they're respecting the fact that you know how to whiff punish, you've basically just put yourself in a position where you can make really safe guesses to cage them in the corner. Are they going to try to dash out? I can throw an Okiwaza 5B. Are they going to try to jump out? I can do an early forward jump JC. Are they going to respect me? I can do slashes again and try to reset the scenario. Like, that's where he's really strong.
Makes sense. Sometimes I have struggled with understanding who is the attacking player, who must rush and chase opponent, and who must defend. Sometimes I just see my opponent just block and don't do anything, and I rush and I start jumping on his super jump, dashing relentlessly, mashing all buttons, and end up being beaten.
Yeah, it is hard, especially since Tohno's not a super mobile character. A lot of it just comes down to matchup. And a lot of scenarios, though, for f-tohno, he is going to be the one attacking in most matchups, and other people are going to be trying to avoid him, because he doesn't move forward quickly without really high commitment moves, like a forward super jump or his, like, low scoop. So, a lot of times you are going to be the one aggressing, and the thing is just being very patient and understanding that you need to use like the corner as a weapon because they can run away from you until they get to the corner. And when they're in the corner, you don't immediately go, all right, they're in the corner, time to attack. That's a lot of times where you sometimes say, instead of attacking you, I'm just going to sit outside of your range because you can't run away anymore. So you either have to come to me or I can take my time approaching you in a way that you can't escape. And it's not always easy to do, especially against Hime, who can literally jump so high you physically can't reach her. But that's kind of what you have to do a lot of times is get people in the corner and then just cage them in the corner and like make safe guesses based on their escapes rather than reacting to what they're doing.
You can deal with it usually unless it's Hime.
Yeah, a lot of times,
Nobody can deal with Hime.
Or if it's like Nero and he's just like, oh, you're approaching me, Snake, and now you basically can't do anything. Like, I remember CC giving me some advice for Nero against characters of it in a shit matchup, but the difference is that CC also plays h-hockey. And h-hockey's got that B button that hits on both sides of her, or well, directly below her. So it's not impossible for her to like kind of hit Nero on one side and then air backdash or air forward dash to avoid Snake and then still keep pressure. Whereas with f-tohno, he only can hit in front of him. So if you overshoot Nero, Nero gets the advantage. If you hit Nero but he has a Snake out, you have to neutral jump and that gives him time to get the advantage. Like, you can't, it's so frustrating. And even really good players like Tomo, it's so painful watching them hit the Nero player like 12 times and not being able to do anything off of it. And then the Nero player just like walks away and it's like, you have to let him do that. It's the worst.
It's been such a long time I last played Nero. I played Nero on f-miyako.
It's a pretty even
I
matchup on
haven't played Nero.
f-miyako.
You're lucky. Oh, it's a struggle matchup for me, I'd say. And like, I didn't play much against Padu. I think the last time I played against Padu, he played Vark against me. That was during that time. I think the only Nero I really played against was Joseph recently. And he
the main court?
In the main court, yes.
Don't go to
Why
main
are they
court.
hammering upstairs? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They are working on something the entire day already. Like earlier, earlier before the tourney, I wanted to take a nap. What today do they start to drill?
Oh yeah, I feel it. Yeah, I got woken up at like 7 a.m. this morning just because my neighbor decided to use like the loudest power tool he had, and it's like at 7 a.m. Okay, yeah, that's the prime time to do shit, dude.
And the thing is, what I really struggle against is the pressure. I'd say. Near pressure and neutral are just both really scary.
If you don't have a like answer directly to things Nero doesn't pressure, a lot of times it's just kind of like you're up shit creek because like Aoko can use fireballs to in between his gaps to keep him in check so he can't just run his stupid game. But if you don't have things that can do that, if you have to respect Crows, if you have to like let him use his normals, jumping is so fucked up because the Mantis Arm puts you back in the corner even if you block it. The Alligator Mouth is like an actual anti-air. Like, and he just uses those seamlessly in his pressure. It's not like he needs to make a call out for them. They are seamlessly used in grounded pressure that also just automatically just stop shit. So
it's really a pain for me, especially with the 5 CS. Okay, it's like, oh, that move is a pain.
Yeah, you can't even shield it half the time, and you can't DP it either. That move is so fucking retarded. And then it hits behind him, and it like pulls his hitbox back. So it's like that move just does everything for you. Like, oh, it pulls you back to whiff punish. It's super disjointed. It guard breaks. It anti-airs. It like, yeah, just like and then you wonder why do Neros just use it all? It can't be DP'd. It can't be shielded half the time. Like, yeah, that move is fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's really stupid. I'm gonna be honest. It's really stupid. And the thing is, I can to some degree challenge him in the air, but that's only because I have icicle.
Yeah.
And his hurt box extends.
This is true. Yeah.
That is the only reason I can do something against him. But anything else is just nah. Especially because I'm someone like it's gotten a lot better, but especially against characters like Nero, I need a lot of time to basically register things.
Yeah.
And that is really not good. It's in such a matchup.
Yeah, it's.
I played for some time against CPT Majemo Hime. That was a funny match. For 10 matches, I was just jumping and he was just beating me. And I was just finding a way how to approach him. And there was like
h-Hime.
5 perfects.
Oh yeah,
H-Hime. Yeah, he plays H-Hime. And I was just.
I know they do. I know of playing
What
h-Hime.
can I do? What can I not do?
Yeah, Hime. Yeah, she gets like totally safe, like actual anti-airs. That character is hard to jump at.
Yeah, especially Hate. She just says she has the wind, she has the gazer.
Yeah, and then she has the ability to move backwards and retreat while also throwing out a move that completely covers her. And it's like, okay, dude.
Speaking of Hime, some of my setups don't work against her.
I mean, yeah, a lot of characters don't. That's like I remember playing f-ciel, and it's like, yeah, I'll do left rights, and then I fucking knocked him down. It's like, oh right, you can't left right h-Hime because for some reason she has a standing collision box when she's knocked down. I don't know why. I don't know why she does, but she does. Like, okay, cool. That was obviously an intentional decision.
My setups that don't work against her. Who's talking?
I think Koval was saying something.
Standing in box when she lying.
Yeah. Or a standing like collision box, so you can't go back and forth left right over the top of her with like Scion's dive kick mix-ups.
Only H?
No, all of them. It's just Hime in general.
Okay. The stuff that I usually get messed up with is the setups where I want to force my opponents to jump. That is usually with the arc drive or the charged grounded icicle. Where I basically want my opponents to get into the air so I can anti-air them.
I see.
It doesn't work against Hime because of her aerial hitbox.
Yeah, she doesn't have legs, and then even on the ground, it's like her dress takes up all this space, and you swing into her, and it's like, I guess the dress isn't like she just looks so much bigger than she is, and then because when she blocks, it kind of puts that yellow flash around her. You think you're a lot closer than you really are, because when someone EX blocks you, that like yellow block animation happens. So I constantly subconsciously think to myself, I'm really close to her because that giant yellow circle is really far out. So I'll do like a 5B and then think like a 2B will hit, and I'll do 2B and it just whiffs, and I'm like, fucking what? Like, why did it whiff? I'm so close to her, and it's like, oh no, she just has a move that looks completely identical to the block animation that is twice as far out as the block animation, and her fucking body like covers the block. That's cool. No, awesome. Like, that character is just such a fucking like, she needs it.
Koval, can I quote something you said?
Of course you can.
That my 236B is Hime level BS.
Yeah, I was kinda angry because I could not understand what can I do against your icicles, and maybe I should change my profile.
I'm here to correct you. I do not get a combo from it anywhere. I do not get a combo from it unless it's a counter, and it's not a damn low. That is probably what offends me the most about Gazer. It's air unblockable and it's a low.
Yeah. And you have to shield it high.
Yeah, it's really a pain. Like, the thing is, actually, when I started out, I tried to play Hime. Which is now kind of funny to me because now I freaking despise her.
Yeah, I hate that character.
Like, they're like three characters I really hate, and those are Hime, namely F and H mainly.
Mm-hmm.
C is allowed to live,
Okay,
but I still
okay.
hate her.
Still
and
can't understand
C
who
and
I hate.
H CL.
Why not?
You don't like CL, huh?
I despise this one.
Okay, alright.
She's the worst freaking thing in this game. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to make her the way she is. I don't know who the fuck thought it was a good idea. I despise her so much, literally.
Interesting character despise, but I understand it because I hate playing against Reese, and that's not a high tier character, so I understand. Everyone's got that like character that isn't like high tier, but they hate it.
And the other one is Cisse, that I really don't like.
Yeah, Cisei's annoying.
I find Cisse just so annoying and boring to play against.
Mm-hmm.
She's literally just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, air unblockable pillars into converts off of anywhere. Yeah, she's a strong character just due to like her high consistency. She has her weaknesses, like not having great options out of shield and shit. But I mean, yeah, she's very consistent. I'll give her that.
Yeah, she's very consistent. But yeah, to the CCL thing, I told you last time, like when I started playing Melty, one of the first people I played against, who I played against a lot, is a CCL main who basically tries to play her as annoying as possible. And it's really a pain when you like actually have a good pressure string going on and everything and do well. Oh, okay, EX keys.
Yeah.
Get to the other side of the map with you.
Even if you block it, yeah.
I found a bit of a trick that I want to use because after all I'm a counter moon. Which could work to my advantage if I end up shielding it or something, but that means I need to kind of predict it.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at autopiloting. That's like a talent of mine. I am very good at autopiloting.
Yeah, and the keys come out so fucking fast. So if you're not like an A button, you can't just all react and shield it.
Yeah, it's really CCL is, as I said, probably one of my most hated.
Yeah, she could be annoying.
Most hated character.
For how much she can just dice roll and how many options she has to do it. But at the end of the day, she doesn't get like huge reward off of them, so it's not the worst. I don't know.
Annoying.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking annoying though to play against a CL player and they DP every fucking wake up, but they just use like one of her 98 different DPs every wake up, and it's like, oh my god, dude, like it's all the same shit. Would you just fucking block?
I mean, something that the guy I was talking about likes to do, which kind of annoys me, is that basically, even though it puts him into a disadvantage, he will just rush through my icicle when I don't even charge it, which means he gets hit, gets the chance to tag out, but he'll be in like a huge disadvantage because he's just above me and I can enter him. And he's still so insistent on continuously to do it because it doesn't do a lot of damage. I'm like, I don't like that mindset.
Steve, can you remember some guy that was playing f-ciel and he was talking mad shit on everyone who
That was
looked
Morpheus,
to him?
yeah.
It was like, I just blocked him, and that's the main reason why I hate main court. He was talking mad shit, like, you're so bad, you're so weak, like that.
That was Morpheus, yeah. Yeah, he's got his own.
Yeah. This guy. I just blocked him, and
Wait, Morpheus, when you lost to him?
he was talking mad shit.
Sorry, I find it a little silly. Like, that isn't even like mad posting or something.
I gotta step out.
Maybe.
This interview is kind of derailed, I think.
That's the main reason why I hate main court. I'm always at the red Discord because everything seems calm here, and everyone just playing and discussing some normal stuff.
I mean, I'm still there. I'm still there and all, so I can't really speak much. I'm like on both the servers, obviously. That's where you can play against me because I'm there as well. Yep.
On main courts, there are more servers, bigger online, and I just post IP and GGs if no one's playing at the red court.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you feel more comfortable on the new court, then that's completely fine. I think you should just do what you feel most comfortable with.
Hey Glenn, can I ask you what controller do you use to play Melty?
DualShock 4.
I'm also curious about this question because Everyone plays
I would
different.
not recommend it. From everything I've heard, people say that like the PlayStation 4 controllers are like really shit for fighting games or something. I mean, I personally don't have much of a problem with it, probably because I started out with it, but
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
welcome back. It's good.
But, yeah, so what were you talking about? Like, Morpheus talking shit? Yeah, no, that's, you can kind of tell he was trying, like, to be like an FGC villain, which, I mean, that's alright, I guess. The problem, the advice a friend gave me one time, which I think I put in main court already, is like, if you're gonna talk shit, you need to talk shit all the way through. You can't, like, talk shit and then when you lose, not talk shit or something like that. Or else you just look like a clown. Because I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I would like play Counter-Strike, talk mad shit, lose, and then turn into a little pussy. And he's like, no, no, no. If you're gonna talk shit, you have to talk shit all the way through. You can't turn into a bitch when you lose, or else you're a fucking clown.
You said it before, main card, I remember that.
Yeah, and the problem with Morpheus is that he would talk mad shit when he beat people, but then like, with the second he lost, he would be like, oh, can you give me advice? Or like, oh, I don't know what to do, and he would like, oh, you're so much stronger than me, and it's like, no, 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 like you were talking shit, like don't lose like that. He fucking was talking like again. He played like I think by like day like 4 or 5 f-roa or something, talked mad shit about my f-roa, and I'm like, yeah, all right, dude. And then later on, he played my like really early f-tohno, like he won like 10-5, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. And then there was one night where he played against my f-aoko, lost 10-0, and he's just like, oh, I'm just hungry. I can't play when I'm hungry. And I never heard from him after that. And it's like, if you're gonna talk shit, you have to talk shit all the way through. Come on, man. Like, you talked so much shit about my other two characters, then you got destroyed, and you're gonna act like, oh, no, I could beat you if I wanted to. Like, no, 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 no.
I think I played against him once, if I remember correctly, and I think I won 10-1.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was him at least. I don't know a lot of CCLs on the server. Thank God there aren't a lot of CCLs. God, thank God. If there would be more, like when I started out, I used to think that he was like this really, really strong character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's
I
like
actually had
mid-tier.
fun playing with him until he started typing in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know why he felt the need to do that. I think he was like, and then when you call him out, that's the other problem is that he went on a little too long. Like, it would be fine if it was just a bit of banter. Like, yeah, you suck. It's like, all right, yeah, fuck you. It's a new character. Yeah, well, your new character, blah, and and it goes on. But the problem is that after someone has like very obviously disengaged, he just keeps talking. And then he keeps going and keeps going. And it's like, dude, they disengaged. Like, stop. And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, are you like banting or are you being just insulting now? Like, I called him out on that and I was like, he beat me, and I was like, yeah, you got me, haha, good games. And he said to start talking some shit, and I'm like, oh, well, if you think you're good, like, next time I'll play my Aoko, we'll see how well we do then, haha. And then, like, I was like, anyway, I need to go make food, GG's. And then he, like, kept talking shit, and I didn't respond. And he talked shit, and he didn't respond. And he kept goading me, and I was just like, and I just called him, and I said, dude, I've obviously disengaged. Why are you still insulting me? And then he's just like, oh, it's just banter, dude, it's just banter. It's like, no, 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 it's not just banter. I very quite clearly disengaged. Like, what are you trying to accomplish by doing this? Like, and then he like, oh, it's just banter. It's like, no, no, no. Then that kind of also leads into the problem. If you're gonna talk shit, you have to commit to talking shit. You can't, like, cower the second someone calls you out on it. Like, you don't get to chase me, and then when I turn around and say, what the fuck is wrong with you, go, oh, I'm sorry, like...
Sorry, I find it funny. Like, I've done stuff like mad posting and such, and sad posting, which I think people have seen on main court before. And like, I usually only do that when I lose, or when I like really did that like shit about it.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like salt is understandable. There's nothing wrong with that.
Salt is sadly something you can't control.
I always try to cheer up people like that, even DMing them and adding as friends, like this guy that was so salty, he could not even play at all. He was just standing and talking like, yeah, just beat me
Oh
up.
my god.
How's name was?
It's him.
Tivardi.
Oh,
Tony, he's back.
Yeah,
He's back. Oh, Gibbons, did you ever hear about that situation?
I've played against him, yeah. No,
oh my god. Yeah, that was...
I just ignore him. He obviously doesn't want to get better and he doesn't want help because he says, what do I do? And then you tell him and he says, I can't do that. And then you say, okay, then do these steps. And he goes, I can't do that. And you say, okay, work baby steps to start from here. And then he goes, I don't have the... And then it got to a point where I like gave him, like he asked for like a guide of what to do in training and I gave him a like like play by play, like, okay, well, you need to start from here. And then eventually he just resorted back to, I don't think I have the willpower to practice that much. And I just said, well, then I can't help you. Like, what? You're literally just looking for excuses.
Yeah, after that I also stopped because there was like the situation where he already talked to someone else I chat with, and that's how I kind of heard about him. But I didn't really, at first I didn't really think much of it. I was more like, I don't think it can be that bad or anything. And I basically sent him a combo and everything. And the next day I decided to play against him. He played Seawalk, aka a character I used to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I did kind of know a few things about her. I played h-Aki, I got life led, and he just didn't do shit.
Yeah.
And like we had this conversation. I switched to Seawalk to just show him what she can do, how you play her, and everything. And I told him like, yeah, that's why I switched. I just want to show you what she can do. And he went, well, I don't even know what buttons you're pressing. And I'm like, or like, I don't know how to use those specials you're using. It's like,
yeah, it's, I don't know. People like that are just, they don't want to learn. They don't want to get better. They want something to complain
was
about.
Like him first month. I really did like that. After 7 matches, I just stopped and waiting until my opponent beat me. It's a psychological thing. Sometimes I have to fight myself just to told myself just you must keep fighting. If you won't fight, you will not learn it. And first games I was always play first to 10, sometimes even first to 5. Then I will need a whole like hour to calm down because I was so pumped, I was so nervous, I almost had panic attack. Allan, do you remember this thing? I was talking in chat like that, and I was even talking like I hate myself and stuff like that. That was a real.
I don't remember that.
And I want to tell that to him that you just must fight it and just get used to it, and it will
get used to the feelings of pain while playing fighting games.
Yeah, I want to help him, but he just refused.
Yeah, no, it's I gave him his help. I gave him his advice. It's like when you tell someone you're pretty and they say I'm not, and you go, yeah, no, you're pretty, and they go, no, I'm not. It's like you're not, I'm not. Okay, you're not pretty. I'm not gonna argue with you. Fine, fuck off. Like it's like that. I'm not gonna sit there and like fucking stroke his cock. Like, oh, I can't do anything. Okay, here's what you can do. I can't do that. Okay, do this. I can't do that. Then do this. That's like baseline stuff. I can't do that. Okay, well then I can't help you. Bye. I don't engage anymore. Like I just don't even try.
At moments I get frustrated about other people, like if I try to help them out or something. Because the thing is, I'm like not an amazing player myself or anything, but I like to help newer players, especially because when I started out, I barely had people helping me out, and I didn't have a Wikipedia page to look up to. I'm still upset that h-wlen didn't have a good wiki page back then.
Yeah, you just gotta watch like that's how I learned to play Aoko. They're like Aoko's page was like fucking barren when I started playing, and like I just had to watch a bunch of games.
The thing is, there are also like no videos about h-wlen because everybody just plays C or F.
Oh, do they? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm like, including me, there are like 3 people in Looking for Games Europe and main part that play her. And that's me, Aura, and Ofen.
Ofen, yeah. Ofen's good advice though. He's one of the demon lords, so anything he says is good to. You can take it as quality.
I once argued with him actually. That was interesting. We argued about a matchup.
I don't think you want to. Yeah. I mean, not to say that like you would be wrong, because I mean a lot of stuff is subjective in fighting games, but yeah, I try to not. Even people I know I'm right with, I try not to argue with. I've had people try telling me shit, and like.
That was mainly about the C-Arc MU, about like him saying that h-wlen has a hard time against her, which I don't see at all. Like I still say I think that I have an okay matchup against C-Arc.
I mean, the problem is that just h-wlen doesn't do a ton of damage, and Arc is tanky, and on top of that, Arc has the tools to actually punish you in situations where a lot of characters maybe couldn't. So she gets a lot more out of hitting you than you get out of hitting her, and she has the tools to circumvent your neutral.
I can say much. I usually win neutral against Arc. I want to say that.
Yeah, you might have the advantage in it, but yeah, no, it's not like I don't know, Miyako, where she doesn't really have the ability to do shit about
Oh
certain
yeah,
setups.
she
Like,
is much. I can do much more. Like the thing is, you can dash through icicle if you do the charged one, and a lot of characters can't really get through it, but Arg is one of the ones that technically can.
mhm.
And if she dashes up and does 5A, that is just really a problem for the Whiteland player. Thing is, though, that I noticed that Arcs like to get really greedy when it comes to running through Icicle, which is why they get hit a lot.
Yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, that's how they had to deal with it. I mean, they've got the speed to do that.
Yeah,
They don't have, like,
exactly.
a step dash. They have a run dash, so, yeah. But, I mean, they also don't take too much damage off of Icicle, so it's not even like it's a bad trade for them a lot of times.
The thing is that, from what Alnok told me, is that basically Arc has, like, trouble dealing with zoning.
Yeah, she does. Like, she's got, like, I mean, she's a good character, but, I mean, like, she's got the same problems like Nana and Tohno do, in that, like, she doesn't have, like, tools outside of her neutrals to deal with shit.
Yeah, it's like, while I don't really consider myself, like, a real zoner or anything, but I have the potential to zone if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one thing I said in Other Night was basically, I don't want to play lane, but I'm not scared of doing it.
Yeah.
The wiki says she's an anti-zoner, but I never saw her as like that as much because she has trouble against tools, like as example, Varg's rings. She has no way to contest them.
I mean, if anyone's an anti-zoner, it might be like f-len, because, I mean, f-len's projectiles can trade with Aoko's, but if f-len's projectile hits, she gets a hard knockdown and, I think, more damage, so it's, like, not even worth trying to trade with.
The thing C and H Whiteland can do though is using their AREX icicles.
I see.
Because the thing with them is they're actually invincible for the first 13 frames.
Okay.
And if you build momentum, then go into the air and use them, you actually slide forward.
Oh, okay, so it allows you to, like, safely close distance while putting out hitboxes in front of you.
Exactly, and it's either a get off me tool, or I really need to get in tool. Both works.
Interesting.
The thing is, you really don't get much off of it.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the weakness of a lot of h-wlen, though. Or just whiteland in general, I mean, is that her damage isn't really that high.
You really can't get a combo off it. That's like the main problem with all the other, especially your specials. You can actually get a combo off of it, or use it as ender. Like her EXTP can be used as a combo ender. But the EX icicles in the air actually cannot be used for something like that. You can start a combo with it and even use it to OTG, but you need to be like really, really close to the ground, or you can't combo off of it.
Interesting. I see.
It's because you basically need to cancel the cooldown by landing, and God, it's really it's a bit of a pain, especially
Yeah.
because you cancel out several hits of the attack, so you get even less damage, and icicle scales a lot.
So it's not like worth the risk reward oftentimes.
Exactly. It's really just a neutral tool.
Interesting.
I mean, I like my character, but not everything about her is amazing.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's like, yeah. No, I love f-tohno, but I mean, there's a reason I don't main f-tohno. Like, he needs.
I also just like to find ways to like make use of less quote unquote of less useful moves, as people would put it. Like one thing that has always been called bad when I played against people, or like when I talked to other players, was basically, yeah, her 6-3C is shit, and I just never saw it as that. No, and ever since then I've been more determined actually to find good ways to use it.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I can understand that because, especially in newer games or not as old games, it's sometimes you can find new tech for stuff. I understand the mindset, but I've also kind of had that mindset with like f-miyako, where there have been people who are like, yeah, there's not really great uses for her ADP, and I've labbed up like ways to like carry momentum into it and ways to do things with it in the air, and at the end of the day, that button just fucking sucks.
Yeah, the thing with it is, like I remember being like in the serious discussion chat and just asking about one thing, and I literally mentioned stuff like I'm not asking about how viable or how good this is. I just want to understand what is happening here. So I got an answer and then immediately got told, well, actually you're using the worst move with the worst follow-up you can do, and I was like, okay, thank you. But the thing with 6-3C is that first off, it's a fake DP and it can actually work very well for you. It's an instant corner carry. You can combo off of it. It's an OTG, and you can do a little. I like to do a quote unquote setup that I don't really like to recommend people, but it's something I still like to do, and that's basically when I go into heat, I do 6-3C. Because afterwards the animation is so long that I recover a lot of health, and no matter what happens afterwards, I am pretty much safe. If they hit me, okay, yeah, get bursted, even if that can be dodged, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
And if they don't hit you, it's like a safe zone for you to recover health in your h-wlen like heat area.
Exactly, and they can also like try and dash up and grab, but the thing is, if you do that, I have enough time to just send out Arc Drive.
Oh, I see, yeah. Unless you're playing against Nana, and then he just catwalks it.
Freaking land in her catwalk. I hate it. I hate her catwalk like a lot.
Yeah, and it could definitely make things hard to air with if you don't have a good air to ground.
I also get a bit jealous, to be honest, because the thing is that my cat is just... It has much bigger hurt box.
Yeah, h-len cat sucks. Normal len cat's good, and it forces you to have to like deep dive them a lot harder, and then at any point in time they can just stand and push 5A, and it's like, oh, you got a little too deep. It's like a fuck off.
Like the only thing I can really do, I'd say, is something like I don't know. There are certain moves I can dodge. Also like f-ryougi's 5C, I think, was it? Yeah, I can dodge her 5C with it as example. But those are like such narrow uses.
Yeah, and even if you did successfully do it, is the reward even like that good?
Not from what I know. I mean, one thing that h-wlen can do, which I just find very funny, is that you can actually combo by using the cat. Can you now?
Oh, because it has like faster recovery than something else?
Exactly. That's why you can do EX command grab. She can only do that in the corner from what I know, H at least. C can do it anywhere on screen. But you can basically do EX command grab, EX special cancel it into cat, and then do something like 2A catch the fall and then go into air combo. But it's not worth it because the EX command grab is just not very good. And I used it in tourney anyways because I got greedy.
I mean, I think you gotta.
I got greedy for the mental damage.
You almost got a kill off of it once, but it's like
Yeah.
the damage on it fucking sucks.
It's really awful. Like the only reason to use it is mental damage.
I was like,
That's
oh,
just-
EX command grab, here we go. This will probably kill. You can combo off this, and then you just did like fucking like two extra hits, and it's like, oh, that move kind of sucks.
I could have gotten 4, but the thing is that
It wouldn't have mattered.
the
Like,
JB was a fail because I actually wanted to do 6 to 3B, which
Oh, I
would have
see.
gotten me a bit more damage.
yeah.
But that's kind of the thing because the opponent is stunned until they hit the ground. Even if you fuck it up, you can get a JB out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Interesting.
still, the move is so frustrating.
Yeah, I
I
imagine.
used to think also it's invincible in startup, but it's not. It's invincible for 1 frame.
Yeah. So okay, so it's a pretty shit reversal, I guess. Yeah.
No, it's not even at the beginning. It's the 4th frame, just the 4th.
Oh yeah, that has no that has no real application, does it?
Exactly.
What a weird move.
It's really not nice.
Hmm.
Like I used to think you can pull a coma or something just with less payoff, but no,
Nah,
you
it's just,
actually cannot.
maybe it's like a coding bug or something. Maybe they wanted to give it 4 frames of invincibility, but somewhere they wrote a line and they only put 1 frame on the 4th frame.
Oh my god, that would be pretty funny. Not gonna lie.
Because I mean, what's its startup? Yeah, its startup is 4. Wait,
4 plus 0.
yeah, and the command grab is the half circle, right?
Yes.
The wiki says it has full 5 frames of invul, but it doesn't, right?
Full 5. Full 5 only means on the 5 frame, not on the 4th one, right?
I think.
Because wouldn't that be full? It would be full 1 to. I am so confused by this move. I'm gonna be honest. It says it's invincible, but apparently stuff hits it out of it all the time or something.
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
full 5
understand
just
either, and I
means
played this
it is.
character.
I think full 5 just means it's full all the way up to frame 5. That's what I thought.
I mean, it could also be, but why does it get hit out by
But then
stuff
again, you are right. These other moves say full 1 to 13 and full 1 to 2. So that is inconsistent notation. So it might only be invul on frame 5, which is the most useless frame for it to be invul on because that's the frame when it's active.
Exactly, it's really just a weird move, and it's, as I said, the only thing you can do is put mental damage on the opponent. Like, I have one mental damage combo, which is pretty fun to do, which is EX command grab into 6 to 3B into arc drive.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's not worth it at all, because the thing is, it does like between 2k and 3k.
I mean, if it'll kill, you can fuck with them.
Exactly, that's what I like to do. And that's really all it has. Apparently it's good for like h-wlen, but for hate it's just really not worth it. Especially because the range is worse than on the A version.
Then
The
oh,
A
yeah.
version is the one you are usually using, so
I see. Interesting. Well, we
there's
should...
actually like a little thing you can do with the B version actually, because if you build momentum for like a few frames and then go into it, you get extra range and extra speed on it.
On the command grab?
Yes, on the dash up command grab.
Oh, interesting.
Because h-wlen goes full speed on frame 1.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't have the duplicating teleport thing.
And her dash literally goes full speed frame 1, so she doesn't have startup either. That's where you can just dash for a moment and then go with the momentum into any attack.
Yeah, and then with the command grab, it's like you've got really long range on it. That makes sense. Interesting.
It's really fun. It's really fun to do.
We should probably put an end to the interview because it's turning
we should.
turning more into the Melty Blood talk show than it is the
exactly.
end of tournament interview. So
I actually mentioned like earlier. I think this interview kind of derailed a bit.
yeah, no, it really has. I don't think we stopped talking about like anything related to the tourney like an hour ago.
Yeah,
probably.
we should really stop.
But yeah, and so but it was good to have you guys here in the tourney, and it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun doing it.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll put an end to it. Thanks for the interview and thanks for playing. You guys take it easy.
Thank you for making the tourney.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
I
thank
have
you.
fun casting, so it's win-win. All right, so that's the interview. It went on like forever. When I put it up on YouTube and stuff, I'll label it the Melty Blood Talk Show or instead of the Melty Blood interview because that's kind of what it turned into. But it was fun. It was fun. It's good to it's fun to have people to chat about with Melty since especially in COVID and stuff and with everybody in Discord. A lot of times it's just text chat, not a lot of voice chat. So it is nice to be able to kind of actually be able to voice the opinions you have about the games you play with people as if you would have back when locals were around, and hopefully they're coming back soon. But anyway, yeah, no, that was the tournament. Thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks for everyone for playing. Next weekend, I'm going to try to do Sailor Moon S again. And even though the stream shit itself today, and that was not fun, it'll probably do the same thing again next weekend. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep doing the fucking Sailor Moon tournament. So yeah, it's so hopefully though the internet, my ISP decides to let me use the internet I pay for, but you never know. But yeah, Sailor Moon S next week. Thanks for everyone for watching.